now for the Shop Report with
Barbershop Jay.
What up, sports fans? Welcome to the Shop Report. I'm Barbershop Jay. I'll be your host for the day. Here's what's happening. We are live. The number to call is area code 267-687-0026. We did not put out a blast because we just wanted to surprise folks this time. They said, man, just let us know when you go. So that's what we're doing today. That number again is area code 267-687-0026. But you never know. The next time we do this, we might switch things up a bit because that's what we are here, chameleons. Today, unfortunately, well, I won't even want to say unfortunately, all we have for you all is the NFL Week 2 recap. And because I decided to only do the recap, so much went on in this NFL Week 2 that we might be here, 6-7 hours to discuss it. Joining me on the program today is none other than my cat from the NYC, a.k.a. Rucker Park, Brother Rich. Bro, Rich, what's happening, man?
My dear brother, my friend, I'm always delighted and honored to be with you, our listeners, and our co-hosts. You know, I'm just happy. Go Dog Pound. You know what it is. So go ahead. Keep going, sir.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it is, actually. I'm very, very concerned with what's going on with the Dog Pound, and there might be some – I hope y'all got some run flats on that car that's going to be taking y'all to this parade because you might going to need it. And on the other side of the legend, we got my man from up north, Joey James, a.k.a. Double J. Tell the folks out there what you say.
Fight the critics, the win's a win.
See, you know, I was getting ready to give you a birthday shout out, a belated birthday shout out, because Brother Rich didn't know it was your birthday. But you know what, man? I hope your son enjoys your birthday more than you. I hope you had to take him to the park. I hope you had to do all kind of stuff. I hope you didn't get to enjoy not a minute of your birthday. That's BIRFDAY. But nonetheless, happy on the happy on the birthday side, Double J. Brother Rich, it was Double J's birthday. And you know what's interesting? This is
I concur in my extension of happiness towards your birth anniversary and all your family and your surroundings. That y'all get a wonderful time.
Gosh, get a paintbrush, why don't you, and lay it on a little thicker?
Grateful, appreciate it.
You know what? But you know what's interesting, Brother Rich? This is like Double J's 4th birthday this month. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. You know, I think it's the guy trying to grab the bag, as they might say out there. In the you know what I'm saying? He's trying to grab the bag.
Hey.
Oh, right. Get it how you live it.
If it worked. If it worked.
Man.
I was going to say, if it worked. Hey.
Yeah. Anywho, so let's dive into some of this Week 2 action, man. I know you all want to discuss the Browns right quick. Excuse me, first, but we are not. We are going to go and stay to the. Yeah, I know. Get some tissue. It'll be all right in a minute. We're going to start things off as the NFL week starts off with the Thursday night game. But this whole week, I'm telling you right now, this season is shaking out to be. I guess you could say about the NFL in 2019 the same thing you could say about the NFL in 1995 or 1994 or 1991 or 1988. Expect the unexpected. Do you agree with that, Double J?
Oh, without a doubt. You name a game, and I can give you something that I certainly wasn't expecting, and a lot of DFS players, I'm sure, have to agree with me on that.
Can you tell the people out there with the BFF, with that the acronym for and what that stands for, please?
Yeah, absolutely. For the daily fantasy sports. So again, that's for the guys could be doing the showdowns, meaning the one games for your Thursday nights, your Monday nights, or even your Sunday nights, and then you could be doing a culmination of all Sunday games or just the afternoons. You split it up however you'd like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At the end of the day, man, it's interesting. I was looking at on my Facebook timeline or whatever, and I told you I don't really do the fantasy like I used to. The team pick the players in the drafts and so on and forth. But it's a big deal now, of course. A lot of guys were talking about that, man. They were saying, man, I mean, I hope I don't, hey, that waiver wire is something. That's where you make your money at, on the waiver wire. It's a lot of folks that's upset after only week 2, so let's get into it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Fakeaneers, at the Carolina Panthers. Brother Rich, we're going to start with you. Do you agree that the NFL needs to do something about the Thursday night game? It's atrocious. When is the last time, and I know you're going to say the Browns last year, wasn't that a Thursday night game? They played the Jets, and Baker came in and, in spot duty, so to speak, and then the Browns craze was on from there, so to speak. Wasn't that a Thursday night game?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay, so outside of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, outside of that, and, of course, Browns fans being all over the world, the Thursday night games, lightweight trash. What say you?
Absolutely, because the players themselves say it. You've heard players say that it's not enough time to recover. They cannot give maximum effort. Then you have a quarterback like Cam Newton who is bruised and battered. He's never fully recovered. So you're asking him now to turn around after taking some bumps on Sunday and be ready to play, to go through rigid practices. They say it's too early to ramp back up. So you're virtually talking midweek because you got to travel. You got to get into that mode at their level. You got to get into that. Even yes, they travel on private jets, but these young men never even have time to recover when you have a game on Thursday. They just do not.
Yeah.
And the more high profile the team, the more they're involved they are because they have to do more press. They have to get engaged more with public. They probably got some sponsors deal. They got to be involved. But these young men never ever get a chance to recover their body. So you find that in the Thursday game, you find a lot of injuries, more than your average quote-unquote Sunday game, some people say, because the players themselves say, again, they don't have time to recover.
Yeah, Double J, how you say?
Well, at first I had to remind myself, I had to look at my calendar that it was a Thursday. Cam Newton was dressed like a grandmom on a Sunday going to church saying who complained about her greens.
Brother Rich, I gotta send you that, man. That was actually hilarious. I found that funny. I couldn't stop laughing, man. Before we get these church services started, I want to know which one of y'all was complaining about my greens or something like that. It ain't good. It ain't good, but it was funny. I gotta admit, it was funny. But yeah, man. Yeah, go ahead. Finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Well, and that's just it. So, and then you get Dr. Jekyll and Hyde with Jameis Winston, which, everybody was high on him that Bruce Arians was going to figure this thing out. And he continues to bewilder everyone because one week he looks like, he should be, thrown in the Sunday league and not the NFL. And then, he'll come out and he'll put up a performance like he did against, Carolina and secure a W, but yet he'll do it by throwing to guys like Cameron Brate versus somebody like O.J. Howard, and it just, again, it surprises everyone.
Yeah, I'll look at it. Go ahead, Brother Rich. You wanted to say something?
I was going to say I want to go on record as saying it did not surprise me and does not surprise me because if you pull the tape on this show, preseason, we said that two people, Cam Newton, he has taken too much punishment. It would start to show, and that's why we did not have any confidence in Carolina coming out of there. Pull the tape, and if you go back in here when we talked about Jameis Winston, we said that Jameis Winston was not going to have any significant improvement because we saw him as not being able. His window has closed in terms of what he was supposed to be in terms of his potential. So and that's what makes a game like that even worse. Because you have a quarterback that's virtually finished. Cam Newton, if he's a fighter, he's out on his feet. Fact.
Right.
He's out on his feet. No doubt about that.
I think he's still injured, too. You know what I mean? I do.
That's exactly right.
The shoulder.
I believe likewise.
Yeah, that shoulder or whatnot. But I'll also say this, man. There's one thing about Cam, and I like Cam and whatnot, but there's one thing about him. I wish that he had been a little bit better at making, not only adjustment, but it seems like every pass he throws is a fastball. It's hard, when the receivers say sometimes their fingers hurt or whatever. I mean, you're a NFL wide receiver. That's what the jugs machine is for. But it seems like every pass he throws is a cannon. That's no knock on him or whatnot. Just, and that ain't got nothing to do with the beating that he done took and the beating he been taking, because we talked about Andrew Luck too. You get what I mean? So I don't like the Thursday night game. And there's been some talk about the NFL. Can't remember what city it was, but they're talking about moving overseas. It should be a team overseas. Where have they played at? Barcelona and a few other, London, a few other places.
London, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's that to me that don't wash. I look at the Thursday night game and no, you ain't going that far to have no NFL team as part of no franchise. I mean, the league and all of that kind of stuff is just too much. Y'all can't get this right first, okay? And then maybe we'll talk about going to Mexico permanently or whatnot. Yeah, Bucks Panthers, that wasn't a good matchup for Thursday night, and I don't Jameis, as far as I'm concerned, the BUS. If not the T, immediately, the T is coming because he's not looking good at all. And I'm not comparing him by any means to Manziel, but I really, really sometimes wonder if these guys, when they get there, at what point does the honeymoon period wear off? Like, okay, I'm an NFL quarterback. Okay, you got to get in that. You got to study. You got to study, man, because some of them throws he made, interception, all of that. It's just like, what are you looking at right there? You know what I mean? Are you really taking your craft seriously? Don't seem to be the case. Not from where I'm sitting. But yeah, they need to do better. The NFL does on that Thursday night game. Up next, the Cardinals from Arizona, y'all, at the Ravens. Double J, is Lamar Jackson as good as advertised? Or is it too early to tell?
Well, it's not that it's too early to tell. Right now, he's doing what a quality NFL quarterback's supposed to do. You beat up on weaker opponents. Again, something that I think many people have forgotten is that, Arizona's been without both of their starting corners. So naturally, you should be able to have, even Eli Manning should have some success against those guys. However, I'm actually going to flip the coin here, and I'm going to point out that the young up-and-comer, that being Mr. Kyler Murray, is actually looking like he's improving quite a bit week to week, and that was really the big concern here. But I think, when those corners do arrive, that they'll have some help defensively. But this kid, even though, he's made a couple throws that make you say, okay, that he can do this in the league consistently, I think he's somebody that can maybe convince Larry Fitzgerald to play till he's Tom Brady's age. Because, man, that guy continues to
show up and show out.
Going to the next bout with, oh, yeah. Yeah,
he does. I say Father Time is undefeated, but I think Fitzgerald and Father Time be scrapping before the game. There must be a boxing ring under that stadium somewhere because they be going at it because he just will not sit it down. Brother Rich, what say you about the Cardinals and the Ravens?
Future. That's what I say. The two future quarterbacks and leaders of the league. And dynamic, and two franchises that are definitely going to be contending for some time to come because of how A, they're being built, and B, because of the kinds of players they have who are unique quarterbacks, and they're becoming must-see TV. And you can see that from how people like me gauge it, is their Twitter ratings and what people are saying about them in a different perspective across all kind of landscapes. So absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm impressed a little bit lightweight to some degree, I should say, by Kyler Murray. But I just find it interesting how, they prop the guys. Everything is so prisoner of the moment with people. And, we had a discussion before about, this day and age of social media, everything is up front right quick. A story is breaking every 16 seconds and all that kind of stuff. Oh, he's too short. But before he came out in the draft, he should be the number one pick. But he's too short. He can't play, but he's the number one pick. I'm like, man, make up my mind. Which way you want it? Got to get a guy a little bit of time. And to throw a guy right out there in the fire. And we all knew that he most likely for the Cardinals will be the starter from day one, so to speak. I like what I see from the guy so far. That whole height thing, that's up to the coaches or whatever to create throwing lanes like Sean Payton has done with Drew Brees over the years, and we'll get to that here in a minute, that whole Saints and Sean Payton thing. But I say that, Kyler Murray's he's an eyebrow raiser, so to speak. I watched him, and I said, okay, this kid might have a nice future here. And that may be the way of the NFL. They might get away from all of that, if a guy that whole you got to be 6'5" or 6'6" and fit the measurables or whatever, because that don't mean you can play. And that's always been my thing. If you can play, you can play, tall or small. On the other side with the Ravens, as far as Lamar Jackson, I got to eat a little bit of crow. We talked about it on the show as far as the guy throwing for only 1,200 yards, and I think I was the one who kind of emphasized the whole deal about, hey, that ain't gonna cut it, in this league. Well, he didn't. I know the defense he played against was not all of that great, but so far, that's not his fault. All right, give me a second here, fellas. Let's see what we got here. We had a caller. Unfortunately, we lost a caller. I couldn't see the name here. Unfortunately, if you would just give us a call back. But yeah, man, Lamar Jackson, he didn't prove me wrong so far. Now, Double J, do you think that it's more so him, and they haven't really faced the defenses? Because you can't say the defenses haven't caught up to him, because he was doing his thing last year, right? So for him to be having success this year, the defenses that he's faced so far that bad, or again, is he just really that good? And I mean, look right now, like the Ravens are locked to win the NFC North this early in the season.
No, be so
quick. I definitely believe that he's proved the naysayers that were emphasizing that it was going to be a gimmick. It was the traditional. He's gonna. He relies on his running. Versus him being able to beat you sitting in the pocket. As you've seen, he's been able to do both. However, it's not because of the running that's opening up, the passing. He's beating him with his arm, and then he's making the smart decisions. And that's just it. That's what's going to make a successful quarterback in this league, regardless of skill set. You got to be able to make the right decisions and make the throws. So that's why I don't want to take any credit from him, because I think, if anything, this whole off season, I brought up when we did, if you look at the tape, that he had a great rapport with his receivers. So he is somebody that you're seeing the effects of taking it serious in the off season, and that's why you're not seeing this delay or maybe him being a little stagnant or coming out of the blocks a little slow. Instead, you're seeing him firing on all cylinders right now. So I definitely want him to get his due.
You know what? And before we go to, because we got the 49ers and the Bengals next, I just want to ask a general question to both of you all. Why is it that, we talk about preseason, so far some teams have looked, because we've seen some abysmal football, right? And for the teams that are playing abysmal, whose play is abysmal, the fallback is, or the crutch is, they starters didn't play enough in the preseason. Now, I'm an advocate for, they need to maybe eliminate a game, but preseason is needed. But why is that not the case for some other teams, preseason being needed? Because there was other teams who are having success so far, their starters didn't play as much in the preseason as the teams who play as abysmal starters didn't play. So explain that to me, Double J, right quick. What's the deal there?
Well, first and foremost, it's consistency. It's being familiar. If
that's fair.
Had 3 weeks of on-the-job training, we're not going to do it as well as, say, somebody that's been there for 3 years and maybe had a week off. So, I think first and foremost, especially in a league that has so much that changes year to year, let alone almost week to week, you're seeing the difference. It's on full display for everyone, because before, when it wasn't the case, or it wasn't as evident as it is right now, then that's where the case was really being made about how irrelevant the preseason was.
Brother Rich, what say you?
I have to agree with everything you just said because that's exactly what my thought was. Is that you got people were trying to prevent injuries in the preseason, so most of the people, the starters did not play. It takes time for them to get the quarterback, which is when we get to a certain team later. I want to make sure that's my issue is whether the players have their timing down and different things that are going on with teams early, where people are just this kind of got to wash out a little bit in terms of what it is now. It's not that football anymore where people played through they for whatever reason they all played through. People they played it almost like a regular game. So no, that's not it anymore.
Okay. And we'll stay with you on this next one, of course. The 49ers and the Bengals. Are you impressed or surprised by Jimmy G coming back from the bad knee?
Absolutely not.
You're not surprised?
Not surprised at all. He showed it, not at all, because he showed before he got hurt, he showed that he was not a flash in the pan. He showed that.
Okay.
And that's how he was able to get to that position. So when he went down, the anticipation had built around him for everything he was about to do was purely wasn't just based on hype alone. He had actually performed in a way to let you know, wait a minute, let's pay attention to this guy. This guy there's something to this guy. And so remember, there were questions when he got the big contract, but after that it was, oh no, let's pay attention to him. This guy can actually play. And so no, what he's doing, no, I'm not surprised by that at all.
Yeah. Jimmy G, the system, Brady, Belichick. Do we even need to revisit all of that? Double J?
And
go ahead, Brother Rich, finish it. Go ahead, finish your thought.
I was going to say, and where he's playing, and the type of climate, the type of offense, the type of player you have to be in that atmosphere, he fits it perfectly. Absolutely.
But 2-0 for the 49ers? 2-0? When was the last time that happened? Maybe Joe Montana was at the helm? I don't know. Go ahead, Double J.
Dare we say that name?
Yeah. Oh, dare I do. Yes, for sure. Joe Cool. Go ahead, Double J.
Yeah, well, I am going to give him a little bit of credit here, and the reason being is if you look at his running game, they've been able to succeed with having multiple parts there. So, you've seen Breida have over 100 yards. You've seen Mostert have over 100 yards. Definitely want to shout out that Boilermaker alum there. But overall, that offense is flowing. And, to Brother Rich's point, when he got injured last year, they went into full 2019 mode. Like that took the air out of the building. And, other than guys like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, you don't really feel that because of his system that he's in. But yeah, when Jimmy G was hurt, you're seeing the difference, a tale of two totally different teams with that guy on the field.
But it was the Bengals. But it wasn't at the Bengals' house. Now, you did go in another man's house and whoop up on him, snatch the stove out, take the refrigerator, throw it out the window and all of that. You just went and, ransacked the place, so to speak. But it was the Bengals. So should we give the 49ers and Jimmy G a little bit more credit or less credit because it was the Bengals? Or it's NFL week, baby? Any given Sunday?
Well, it's the 49ers. Exactly. And
okay.
It's the 49ers. And it is the NFL. They're playing professional football. And like you just said, any given Sunday is the 49ers. And we're looking to see now if they were 0-2, we'd be having a different conversation. Because they're 2-0, we're saying that they're living up to the expectations of a franchise like that. What they have come to represent in terms of what football is. You expect a certain thing from that brand, from that franchise, in terms of the kind of quarterback they want. You just quoted Joe Montana. You just lifted the name. So we know the kind of thing you want there, what they're looking for there. Not that this young man is that yet, but we see that there's something happening here. So now you begin to pay attention to them again. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because there was some talk early on after he got up out of New England that the Browns might snatch him up. Some strong consideration for him coming here or coming to Cleveland, if you would. Yeah. So, like I said, but the prisoners of the moment when Jimmy G went down, he a bum, he trash and all of that. I mean, it's the NFL, man. You can't. How you going to call a guy trash for getting hurt? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, let me go out here and blow my ACL. Nobody wants to get hurt. But a lot of times, it's always the folks who ain't never been hurt or never played that's always got the most to say. Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm not going to lie. I'm impressed. That, not so much that they 2-0, but it's kind of fashion that they didn't win about becoming or going 2-0. Richard Sherman had a couple picks so far. He looked like he done got new life, so to speak, at that cornerback position. So, I'm going to keep my eye on the 49ers for the rest of the season. I don't know what the schedule is for them is shaking out to be. I don't have that in front of me. But if 2-0 for them so far means anything or is an early indication, man, they might be in the thick of it when it come playoff time. Chargers at Lions. Double J, I'm going to let you have this one because it was your birthday, 22 days in a row now, and it is the Lions, and you are in Michigan. So, I mean, you just batting 1,000 right now. We're going to let you have this one. But I will say this before you have your say, that Phillip Rivers is statistically overrated. Does that make sense?
I'm going to disagree with it simply because if you look at what he's got to work with, he has no Melvin Gordon. Sure, Eckler's playing his behind off, and again, he continues week after week to not help Melvin Gordon's case here in terms of getting back with the Chargers specifically. However, Phillip Rivers, that team was missing 7 players, everything from the starting tight end, again, to the real starting running back. You had a hobbled wide receiver. I mean, the guy, it's really that team, that franchise right now is about in as good a condition as Phillip Rivers is as a whole, playing into his 40s as well.
Okay. I will give you. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I will give you that. I'll give you that. But I'll raise you this. It's a quarterback-driven league. We've seen guys like John Elway. If you that dude, now you should be able to catapult this team despite all of this. You the guy with all the mouth, and you the guy that's doing all the talking, and so on and so forth. And it's always the Phillip Rivers show, and the running back position. Talking about Melvin Gordon is so devalued. Oh, you don't need a run. And I'm not saying you. I'm talking to all them national pundits and all them folks out there who get all the information from TV only. Can't separate real reality from television reality. Oh, you don't need no running back. Look like to me, you need Melvin Gordon right now. Don't you think so? Yeah, I think so. Because a good running back there provides what we've been saying here for the longest? Balance. Go ahead, Double J. Finish.
Well, but again, you're talking about a Lions team that their defensive line, believe it or not, this may surprise a lot of people. I know it surprises me. It's actually built to be one of the better ones in the entire league.
But despite that, was it not said that the Lions were supposed to be 0 for whatever, potentially probably being the second team? I mean, being the only team to go 0-16 twice.
Here's the thing: if you put Hunter Henry in that lineup or any insert starter here, again, they were without 7 starters on Sunday. Mm-hmm. So you can plug and play whichever one you like, mm-hmm. and they would have won that game. So I'm going to give more credit to Phillip Rivers than I am to Matthew Stafford and the Lions because they just look abysmal offensively.
I'm so
You're telling me a team without 7 starters and you can't put points on the board?
Well, we're going to talk about.
And then you struggled. You burned the bridge the previous week by letting the rookie come in and look like a Hall of Famer in the fourth quarter and overtime.
Uh-huh.
I don't understand it.
As I do not understand, why is Matt Stafford getting so lambasted by you all? What is going on up there in the Motor City, man? Man, y'all got to stop doing my boy Matt Stafford like that. Y'all got to stop doing my boy Matt Stafford like that, man. What is he, Double J? What has the man done for you all? The venom attached to his name, man, is mind-boggling to me. What is going on up there in Michigan? Please do tell.
You know what it is? They simply need someone to blame. They don't understand. If they will, believe me, it is not just him. It's Martha Ford. It's Matt Patricia. anyone affiliated with that franchise that actually would be deemed a quote-unquote leader is being held accountable for their performance. 1-0-1 might as well be 0-2. Because now, a win and a tie is not good enough for them. They want to win in a similar manner that you're seeing teams like Baltimore and San Francisco do. So that was a perfect lead up. That's the reality that they're looking for is just the quality of play is just not there.
Yeah, that's fair. I won't argue. I can't argue the truth. But Brother Rich, to you, I know once upon a time when you lived out in San Diego, it was reported by some folks that you and Phillip Rivers were smoking stogies at the Staples Center, you know what I'm saying, out for the unveiling of Kobe's statue or something or another to that effect. You know what I'm saying? Y'all had a couple of conversations. Would you care to elaborate on, you know what I'm saying, on why your boy, is do you think he's starting off slow this year so far?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think that he's Phillip Rivers. I think that Phillip Rivers is who he is. I think that he is great and good enough for the Chargers. I think the Chargers are similar to the way that Double J described the Lions. I think that that's a team that has to have somebody out there to sell some tickets. Right now they're not settled yet. They just made a big move. And so if you look at them, they're not right now, and they're not going to spend a whole lot of money. They've got a competent quarterback. They're right now they're not in the space to do that. And he's good enough to get the job done. He knows, and they knows, and everybody knows now that they're never going to win anything. They're not going to win. They're not the team that's here for winning. They're a team that's here to revenue share and make some money, and they got a good franchise. Absolutely.
Now, do you think if Melvin Gordon was there, that validates them beyond they're not going to win anything? Because I'm with you on that. I don't think so. I think they just, they eye candy, so to speak. But with Melvin Gordon, do you think they legit?
Well, absolutely. Without a doubt. Absolutely. But remember now, they were blunt from day one. They said, there's no way we're negotiating with. And everybody that understands the Chargers as a franchise understands he was a loser. That's not going to happen. They're not doing that. They're not the squad that's going to spend money. You can hold out for the rest of your life. I mean, that's on you. We don't really care about that because we're going to sell X amount of tickets. We're going to revenue share at a certain level. We're going to have a certain amount. Our fan base is locked in, and they're going to buy a certain amount of merchandise. And we got a good face, and Phillip Rivers is a good guy, and people love him. And so as long as we're competitive and we're not tanking. Yeah, we'll be okay.
I like how you said tanking.
That was I like how he said it too because look, speaking of selling tickets, they sell more tickets to the away fans. I don't know why they're still in LA. They really need to be back in San Diego.
That's you're wrong. The number to call if you're up and around, you're out and about, you want to give us a shout, is area code 267-687-0026. And that number again is area code 267-687-0026. The Vikings and the Packers. I'm trying to tell you, man, Aaron Rodgers hung up a quick 14 on a Vikings defense that's supposed to be Super Bowl caliber. Then the Vikings, on the other hand, what's going on with them at quarterback, man? That's gonna be That's gonna be it for them. If they don't make the playoffs, because Dalvin Cook is doing his part. Everybody else seems to be doing their part except for one person. Double J, would you like to mention that person right here on the show today? Would you like to mention his name? Or no names, please.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
No. Let's call him out here. The Michigan State alum, Kirk Cousins.
That's why I laid that out for you. You know what I mean? I know. Oh, give you a second here, guys. We got the caller, I think, back. I don't see the name here, but we'll get him in here. Let's see here. Hello, caller. What's your name, and tell us where you're calling from.
This is RB from Wisconsin.
Oh, my gosh. I knew it. I just knew it. And it's interesting that you would call in right around the time we get to the Vikings and the Packers. Okay? Yeah. RB, of course, yeah. Double J, don't encourage him. Please don't do that. RB, my man, Brother Rich, over there on that side of the table, smoking stogies with my man Phillip Rivers, and Double J up there hating up there on Matt Stafford. Go ahead, RB. Have your say, man. Have your Aaron Rodgers day. I just want to let you all know before RB start talking. I'm at work, right? And he called himself looking for the other guy, my man Shabani. That's the Vikings player, Vikings fan. He gonna be in the corner in my work area talking about I was looking for Shabani. I'm like, Shabani ain't nowhere around here. He said, I just wanted to, come talk to you for a minute to say, some folks had a lot of stuff to say on the show last go around about Aaron Rodgers and the Packers and so on and so forth. And the man was Green Bay Packer geared out. I think he bought up every Packer piece of paraphernalia last week from NFLshop.com that they sold out. They done shut down the shop. This man was Packered out. But go ahead, RB. Say your piece, man. What you want to say here about Aaron Rodgers being a bad man?
Good evening, gentlemen. I let the play speak for itself. 2-0. I mean, I really don't have too much to say. I'm letting the play speak for itself on the field.
What?
I'm letting the play speak for itself on the field.
You had a loss for words.
When we did the preseason, a lot of bad things were being said about my Packers and Aaron Rodgers and the coach, and now everything is coming on the field, and now we're going into week 3, and we're going to be 3-0. We still ain't getting the respect. I'm hearing about New Orleans, the Rams, the Cowboys. We still not quite getting the respect that we deserve in the NFC. But okay, all right. We're gonna reclaim the North Division like I said we would. I doubt if Shabani will even call in. His butt is sore from what happened to the Vikings. So
yeah. But let me ask you this question: What about that little? What about that little? Go ahead. What'd you say?
As you were saying, big, and it took a defense to hold Minnesota making a rally. Because we all know defense wins championships. So now that our defense is on a round in the form, going in the weeks to come, once the offense catch up, once Aaron Rodgers and that coach get on the same page, you're going to be seeing a potential Packer Super Bowl berth. But we'll let it play itself out in the next couple of weeks.
So what say you about that little sideline blow up with Rodgers and LaFleur, or is that just typical? A typical day in the Packers' day, or in Packerland, a typical day in Packerland, should I say? Gee, my knees. But
what you're getting is getting a first-time head coach who learning the ropes, engaging in conversation with a first-ballot future Hall of Famer. So it can happen sometimes. A little disagreement. It's nothing. After we win next week and be 3-0, everything will be all good.
So wait a minute. Hold up. Where all that first ballot Hall of Famer? You really took the long route on that one. You just had to get that out, huh? First ballot Hall of Famer and all that kind of stuff. You just had to, just throw that in, huh?
I thought I'd slide that in.
Okay. So then answer me this question. Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. I don't disagree with that. The defense is rounding into shape and so on and so forth, right? But even with Aaron Rodgers having been the veteran first ballot Hall of Famer, there shouldn't be no need for the offense to catch up. With him at the helm, they should have beat the Vikings by at least 2 touchdowns. No? Oh.
I never said the Vikings was a terrible team. I just said they weren't better than Green Bay.
Oh, okay.
They're a good team. They're better than Green Bay.
Okay.
So they was gonna make a rally. They was gonna make a run, but our defense held them off and got the victory.
So what you're saying is, sound to me like you implying that it's not going to be a Cowboys, or if it is a Cowboys in the NFC Championship, or I can't even, or the Rams. You saying that folks are dismissive or shouldn't be dismissive about the Packers' chances being this season in the NFC Championship and maybe even the Super Bowl. Is that what you're saying? So are you suggesting Packers Patriots again in the Super Bowl? Is that what it sound like you're going?
I think the Cowboys and the Rams are overhyped, and we play the Cowboys in a couple of weeks. We're gonna see then. We're gonna see then. We'd have beat them before a couple times in the playoffs, regular season. We didn't show Dallas what it is, but Okay, with Aaron Rodgers going back to Texas, okay, there's gonna be another victory for Green Bay again. So I'll let it all unfold in the future weeks to come.
Okay, so I mean,
Brother Rich, are you hearing this? Jay, you're not going to say anything about your boys? You got to defend your guys here.
Hold up. We not. First of all, I'm not gonna wear that crown that you, Brother Rich, or that toupee that you and brother. Even though I might need a toupee, I'm not gonna wear that toupee that y'all keep trying to put on my head, man. It don't fit. I'm not a Cowboys fan per se. I'm just glad Zeke got his money, and I'm glad to see Dak playing well.
I thought we thought you sat in the throne and Jerry wears the crown. We thought you next in line to we didn't think you wore the crown. We thought you sat on the throne and Jerry wore the crown. So we never thought you wore the crown, sir. We know you sit on the throne of Cowboys Nation. We understand that.
Yeah, RB, I appreciate you planting some seeds. You know what I mean? I appreciate you doing that. You know, throwing some stuff out there so they can have they say. You know, they do not pass up an opportunity to throw that out. I mean, I don't even know where that started from. You know, we went from a Facebook post with Ezekiel Elliott looking like an Ewok holding a Chick-fil-A bag in his hand, and all of a sudden Barbershop Jay is, Jerry's nephew. I don't get it. But anywho, I'm like the fact that Zeke got paid, and I like the fact that Dak is playing well. And they are the Dallas Cowboys, exceeding the expectations right now, because there was a lot of negativity surrounding Dak and Zeke and so on and so forth. And especially with the Zeke sign, it just proves my point of why all of that talk about the running back position being devalued, you need one if you're going to go where RB thinking the Packers is going. Oh, and speaking of running backs, RB, who is the Packers running back that's going to take y'all to the promised land alongside this bad man who is Aaron Rodgers?
I'm glad you said that because his name is Aaron also, Aaron Jones.
Oh, so y'all got a double Aaron. So that's the reason why I'm not buying none of this from you, Double J, or Brother Rich. I'm not buying none of it because we're only in week 2, and it's any given Sunday. By week 6, I could be leading the pack talking smack. But I'm going to let y'all have y'all say. This is what we're here for today. This is the platform. I'm going to let y'all have y'all say. But I appreciate what the Packers did. Go ahead. Somebody.
Different tune you're singing.
Different.
Now you're not overreacting. Now you're the calm and collected one. Okay.
Yeah, I have to be. See, a lot of times, man, when I come on the show, I take medication. I'm just kidding. Today is just one of them days, man. I'm letting the co-host and the guest RB called in. I'm letting y'all kind of run things today. You know what I mean? I'll have my say when we get to some other teams here later on down the line, down the list. RB, you gonna stay with us, man? Just to go through some of these other teams? Yeah, okay. All right. Well, we're glad you joined the party here. I'm glad you was able to talk. Say that again?
I said on the side note, I had my Browns get on last night.
Oh, man.
There's that extra seat. It's just been filled.
Thank you, sir.
Woo. Somehow, somewhere, I think y'all orchestrate this, man, when I'm not around. Because y'all flowing with this, too. It's going too smooth how y'all all try to gang up on me. But it's cool, man. It's cool. Warriors, come out to play. I'm ready for anything and everything. Yeah, you had your Browns get on, but we ain't talking about the Browns right now. We're going to get to them in a minute. I said we're doing Thursday night. We're going to go through the Sunday games. Then we'll get to the Monday night game. We discussed we had the Vikings and the Packers. Up next is the Jaguars at the Texans. What in the world? RB, I'm going to let you have this one. What, in your estimation, what is going on with Jalen Ramsey, man?
I think he wants to get traded. I think he wants to get out of that situation.
Well,
deep down, I think he wants to play for the Patriots, or AB, or he wants to come to Green Bay and play with Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know where he wanted, but he wanted to get out of Jacksonville.
Okay, wait a minute. He want to come to Green Bay. My goodness. Now I'm going to ask Brother Rich, and Brother Rich going to say he want to come to the Browns. I'm going to ask Double J, and Double J going to say he going to come to the Browns. Y'all got these dudes going to all y'all's favorite teams.
The point is he wants to go to a winner. That's the point. He wants to go to a winner. That's the point. That's the point the man is making. He wants to go to a winner.
Yeah, I got you. I doubt if he So wait a minute. If he goes to if just hypothetical, if he was to go to the Patriots, could we not say that the Patriots are the NFL version of the Warriors? Is that what we're saying here? Or the Miami Heatles?
Absolutely. No, the Warriors. No doubt about it. Absolutely.
Okay, so
absolutely.
now we're doing the big three in the NFL too now, huh? Is that what that would be?
But here's the reason. Here's the reason. Here's the rationale, Jay. Here's the rationale. With all we now know about football, where people are actually having a conversation about whether or not they would let their children play, and more players are coming out and saying they wouldn't let their children play, and even though some are saying they would, what we know about athletes and what they're going through. And listen, if I'm a professional football player of any renown, if I'm Antonio Brown or this young man down here in Jacksonville, I am not going to waste my career and get injured, ruin my life, probably ruin my health for the future longevity of my life, not be around for my children just to play every week for a couple $100,000 and make a couple $1 million. And when I can do the same thing, now that LeBron has showed me the power that I have as an athlete, if I'm some athlete that has a name, and this young man has to obviously be somewhat of a quality player, as we all know him. So he decides now is my shot to go for this. Le'Veon Bell, all of them are saying, I saw a clip of Le'Veon Bell saying he absolutely does not regret what he did. He sees himself as the winner because he remained healthy and he stood his ground and he got ultimately what he wanted. So if this young man is telling us that this young brother wants to go Green Bay, New England, Cleveland, the Browns, come on, because that makes sense. Go to somebody that's going to win, that's poised to win or have a chance to win going forward. If I'm going to give my body over like that, I absolutely would agree with him. Absolutely.
I can't argue with what you just said. It would be foolish to do so. Double J, what say you?
I'm going to totally double down on this. I mean, the man's already taking his safety and well-being so serious that he drives in a Brinks truck to make sure that any non-workplace accident can be prevented. Additionally, let's look at it from the standpoint of a contender. You're talking about a guy, cap space we'll forget about because, you're looking at playoff revenues and potential Super Bowl championships on the line here. But more importantly, what you're going to give up for him is likely, you could, because he's the man of the trade, you're talking maybe only a single year's first-round pick, in which case you're saying that's a late first-rounder at best. You're talking about a top 10 talent and certainly arguably a top 5 corner in this league. By all means, I would say every general manager in this league would pull the trigger on that.
So it makes sense, is what you. I see that too, especially with the idea it could be a late first-round pick. That's like a wash. So you know what I mean? That's that fair exchange, I guess. But even if it was a top pick, you don't think it would still be worth it if it was a top 10 first-round pick?
Oh, without a doubt. Because again, you're talking about a seasoned veteran whose best years are not behind him. You're getting him in his prime, and absolutely, it's worth it. You know what you're getting here. You're not buying on potential.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Can't disagree, unfortunately, with you or Brother Rich, but I'm going to go back to RB right quick. RB, let's say Ramsey goes to the Packers. Are they immediate, without a doubt, Super Bowl contenders? Not saying that they're not right now, but I mean, when I say without it, I mean they might be 84% Super Bowl contenders, and I'm just throwing a number out there. But you throw Jalen Ramsey over there on that defense, and all of a sudden they go from 84% to 99.9% representing the NFC in this year's Super Bowl.
No, I wouldn't quite say that. I think he just brings a different element to the defense. Bolster it, just makes it stronger. Like I say before, as long as number 12 is on that field, we're in contention. Jalen Ramsey will help a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But as long as number 12 is healthy and upright, we're good.
Yeah.
But I like Jalen Ramsey. He's a good player.
Yeah, he really is. On the Texans side of things, Brother Rich, that offensive line is still tough, terrible to watch. But Watson and them, they getting it done, man. They getting it done. I mean, outside of what the coach did as well, I was kind of shocked by that. We get to that in a second. You think this Texans' chances on winning the division, as long as Watson is upright, are greater than they was before when we talked about when we did the divisional breakdowns? Seeing how this dude is playing right now, man. Go ahead.
Here's my concern. My concern has never been for him as a quarterback. My concern has been exactly like everyone else has, whether or not he will be upright at some point in the season. Will he take too much or take the wrong? Because even though he is a very gifted young man, he's but so small, and this is the NFL, and we see what's happening with Cam Newton. And so we wonder, yes, they're better, but they're still making, and are they making still making yet too many mistakes and yet vulnerable the longer the season goes on? And how many blows will he have to take? How much will he have to endure? Now, if they hold up their end of the bargain, we don't have any doubt that he can hold up his end of the bargain. None at all. The Carolina Panthers are going to go down in history as having wasted Cam Newton's career. And there were many people after the Super Bowl saying that Ron Rivera should have been fired. And you will look back and see that is absolutely what should have happened in that circumstance. And so we wonder now, what are the Texans going to do with respect to this young man and his gifts and his talent, and will they protect him so that he can be challenging for this Super Bowl and challenging for the division and challenging for the playoffs, doing the things that he potentially is gifted enough to do?
Yeah, no argument there. I don't know why I'm in so much agreement with you all today. This is uncanny, unlike me. RB, the Texans.
Even with the Browns, huh?
Oh, we get into that. Last but not least, we're going to get to that. Oh, when we get to that, the Texans, they not only win the AFC South, I think, still, but are they, if Watson can stay upright, are they a legit contender for the Super Bowl? Can they unseat the Patriots, your other favorite team?
I think they lack a strong running game, so I think it's gonna be hard to beat KC or New England in the playoffs when it really matters.
So you ain't got no faith. You ain't got no faith in Duke Johnson. No faith in Duke Johnson. Going once, going twice. Y'all wrong for that. I heard you. I heard you say no, RB. You're dead wrong for that. You're dead wrong for that. I think that's some Kane bias, is what I think. And y'all know I'm a Kane fan. So always some kind of Kane bias on here, but y'all loop me with the Dallas Cowboys. I don't understand. That's a little backwards to me. But what'd you say? Double J, sound like you had something to say that you wanted to weigh in on there too, right quick. I heard you. Yeah, I hear that laugh in the background. I know. Y'all, I'm going to take it easy on you today because it's your birthday again. The Texans, I'm telling you right now, will still beat the Colts for that AFC South crown, despite Jacoby Brissett surprising me. I think Jacoby Brissett didn't surprise me a little bit more than Lamar Jackson has, but we'll get to that in a minute. Double J, your say on the Texans. Can they not only win the division, but can they unseat the Patriots?
So, unfortunately, I'm going to say absolutely not. They cannot unseat the Patriots. Everybody's brought up, you've said it multiple occasions, if Watson can stay upright. You saw in the last game, the guy that they just gave away their entire future for, Laramie Tunsil, get helped off the field. So
it is a brutal game.
You're talking about an already, absolutely, and it's a very thin line for that Texans team. And unfortunately, I don't know if he is going to make it through the season. And it's not to discredit him on being quote unquote injury prone. It's just who he has behind him. It's Andrew Luck syndrome, if you will. And that falls squarely in the hands of his front office. He doesn't get to pick those guys. So unfortunately, I don't see it. And then also defensively, you trade away and a very unique talent in Jadeveon Clowney. And unfortunately, J.J. Watt, best days are behind him. He kind of looks, at this point, he's kind of like Jax in Mortal Kombat with all that stuff on his arm. And I don't think in the long haul that they have what it takes to really uproot anybody. But they definitely can and should come out of the division. But let's not overreact here. They beat up a guy named Gardner Minshew, who was wearing the gimmick Aaron Rodgers mustache that they sell.
I saw that picture of him getting off the plane looking like Ron Burgundy. And don't ask me how I know who Ron Burgundy is. You know, the man's face has been plastered in the magazines a time or two, okay? That's how I know who Ron Burgundy is. But he did, and there were some choice words being said. Not choice, but folks had a lot to say about his get-up and what he looked like in that get-up, and I will not repeat that on this show. But I thought it was interesting. I got a nice little kick out of it or whatever. But, yeah, he did look the part, didn't he, when he was stepping off. I'm just surprised that he had on everything, this Minshew, when he got off the plane. He had on everything but the stacks, you know, the shoes that they used to wear in the 70s that made you 25 feet taller when you had them on. Yeah, Minshew with the mustache, right? Got you. Everybody's wearing this, and you know, speaking of, and I don't know why when you said that it made me think of this. Speaking of the whole mustache, facial hair thing, have any of you all seen the Oakland A's pitch? You thought you just knew I was going with that, didn't you, Brother Rich?
Yeah, absolutely.
Has anyone seen the picture of the Oakland A's? When I say picture, I mean photo of the Oakland A's pitcher, as in hurler, thrower of the baseball, with this, I don't even know how you would describe this beard. It's a beard on one side. It comes around his chin, kind of half goatee, but it's clean shaven on the other side. Did you see that, Double J?
I did. It was business on one side, party on the other, huh?
Yeah, it was confusing. RB, did you see it?
Oh no, I have to take that out. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, It and I was going to say, don't waste your time because it is crazy. And Brother Rich, I already know that you saw it. I just thought that was interesting, and it was a whole.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, where we going with this now? That's where sports is going right now. I see why everybody want to go to Mars and see if there's intelligent life on other planets, because the life on this planet, the intelligence, boy, it's really suffering. Okay, Double J, we're going to come back to you. The Patriots at the Dolphins. The Patriots put a shellacking on the Dolphins. I know this is you and Brother Richard's other favorite team. You know, it seems like y'all always going with whoever's winning. The only reason y'all going with the Browns is because y'all done planned on riding in the drop top to the parade. Got you. Meanwhile, back at the Dolphins ranch, what is going on with the fishes, man? And you seen that little meme going around that, all right, I'm going to head on out. Somebody had it where the dolphin came out of the Oh, boy, whoever comes up with this stuff, they need an Oscar or an Emmy. Double J, what's going on with your Dolphins, man? You know, that's what I'm going to start doing from here on out. I'm going to start making it where I'm going to just start putting whatever team I want to. I'm attaching it to you and Brother Rich and RB whenever he called in. Shaban, if you're out there listening, man, you could call and weigh in too. Matter of fact, if you're up and around and you're out and about and you want to give us a shout, that number to call is area code 267-687-0026. Once again, that number is area code 267-687-0026. Double J, what's up with the Dolphins, man?
Well, chased it away again in Margaritaville. I don't know what to make of that franchise. It's a complete disaster. I think with the first pick in the 2020 NFL draft, the Miami Dolphins will select all of Alabama. It's that bad.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. Yeah, it is. It's terrible. You know what? Let me ask Brother Rich right quick. Brother Rich, who are the Dolphins tanking for? Which college quarterback coming out in the upcoming NFL draft are the Dolphins tanking for?
Well, interestingly enough, even though he said it, Double J, I actually agree with you. I just think you should go a little further south. I think that a team like that has one hope, and that is to tank for somebody from the state of Florida, University of Miami, University of Florida, because the Miami franchise has to have some homegrown talent, something they can identify. That's a very unique market, very, very unique among markets in terms of what this. But well, I'm not even saying they're going to find it there. Here's what I'm saying: they may find something there that will entice people to want to come and watch that team and at least root for something on the field and maybe get something organically going there. Because the idea that they apparently don't want to spend money, and that now you have open mutiny of players saying, we're on the open market, get me out of here. Players are now being advised to go make their own deals. It sounds like the Depression, that people are just leaving. I mean, and you're talking about Miami, Florida, playing football in Miami, and people want to leave willingly Miami. This is serious now, where these players are saying, if I got a short career, I'm certainly, as nice as it is, I got to go somewhere and play to win. I got to go somewhere where my time will be of some value, because my career could be over tomorrow on the next hit. Oh, absolutely. Something's going on in Miami. We got to look at that. And I think that in that city, you got to have something that is homegrown. Dwayne Wade was drafted in that market in terms of basketball and adopted it as his home and grew there, and they grew a whole brand. And then LeBron came and they made it a whole Heat thing, and a place to be. And you got to have an event place now down in Miami to have people want to go there.
You know what's interesting?
Well, you know what? I'm going to piggyback on that. They did, of course, make the trade with Pittsburgh, just recently to acquire some more picks. But maybe they make a call to your boy David Beckham and try to see if, they got that year gap with that stadium. Maybe that they could they can find some other football players.
You know what? You and Brother Rich, I'm telling y'all, y'all's imagination runs so wild, where the wild things are. Really? Now you want David Beckham to what? Kickoff and punt? That's what you're going with that, Double J? Yeah, exactly.
No, I want him to bring Miami FC.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
No. But here's the interesting thing about Miami as a whole. I am surprised, and I never thought about this when I was younger, but I'm surprised that they even have any type of professional sports franchises there anyway. Have you all been to Miami lately? RB, have you been to Miami lately?
Not in a while.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's a reason why you gotta wean, you can't go down there on a regular. You'll be like the guy in the movie The Harlem Nights. Brian, tell your mama I ain't coming home. I'm surprised they got any type of professional franchise down there anyway. Brother Rich, you and I used to talk about when they watched the NBA games when LeBron and Haslam and Bosh and Wade was doing their thing. What was the one thing I used to say to you about Miami games, the Heat games?
Oh, my goodness.
The seats was empty.
Apart from the fact that they was out, that's exactly what you used to point out.
I was like, man, these dudes is in the midst of winning championships and nobody goes to the games. That just lets you know what is going on in the city of Miami. And I ain't talking about all the powder that be washing up on the beaches.
Until the playoffs, and then everybody comes. Until the playoffs, and then everybody comes because it's celebrity, it's a driven event, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly the kind of place it is. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then on the Patriots side of things, I mean, I guess we all in agreement that the Patriots, it's going to be the Patriots and the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. I know I just asked a couple of questions earlier about it was questions. Could that team unseat? But I don't see it happening. If things continue to play out this season the way they have played out so far, I mean, does anybody here today disagree that the possibility of the Chiefs and the Patriots in the AFC Championship is, what, the percentages are dwindling? If anything, they're increasing. I think they went from 67% to 99.9%. And then we're only in the second week in the NFL. Anybody disagree that it won't be the Patriots and the Chiefs here today, right now?
You know what? After seeing what happened this past week in the NFL with these quarterbacks, if anything happens to Brady or Mahomes, it could be a different conversation. But if those two guys stay healthy, it's a foregone conclusion.
Wait a minute. If anything happens to Mahomes, maybe. But anything happen to Brady, they still should be okay because it's the system when we're talking about the Patriots, right?
No, sir. I disagree with that vehemently. Absolutely not.
I'm not saying it as if it's not my conviction. I'm just asking a general question. The one team in the NFL
Absolutely not.
that if their quarterback goes down, we shouldn't be no worries because it's the system.
It's a worry.
Not.
It's not the system.
It's not the system?
I don't think it's a worry. I think it's a panic button. That's what it is, a panic button. And it's more than a worry.
Uh-huh.
Big panic.
But I thought,
panic button.
I thought with the Patriots, the question has been, and it's an ongoing question, a discussion. Is it the system or was it Brady or is it and I'm like, well, if Brady ain't got nothing to do with it and it's the system, the one team in the NFL, Double J, I don't hear you saying nothing right now. We over there. You celebrating your birthday again? Put the yak back, okay? The cognac, put it back. The one team in the NFL that should be separate from everybody else when it come to that position, it should be the Patriots. And my man RB just...
I counter your argument by saying this.
It's not my conviction. I'm not...
Finish your point, sir. Finish.
Yeah, it's not my conviction. I'm not saying like, I believe... I'm just throwing it out there. How can we say... Because if Brady go down and the Patriots are done, if that's what y'all telling me, then it ain't the system. It's Brady. Like I said.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But here's the thing, though.
But if it's the system, then it shouldn't matter whether Brady is playing, if he go down or not. And I'm not saying I would want him to, but you
the system has something to do with it. Brady plays in a system, but he is the key factor in that system. And the fact is that everybody could not do what he does. You could put better and more gifted quarterbacks, and they couldn't do what he does. That's a fact. He has a certain skill set and a certain set of gifts that make him uniquely qualified to do that. Not the least of which is he's a star quarterback that don't mind his coach talking to him like he's a regular punk-ass kid on the bench. He don't mind that. Most of the modern day most of the modern day quarterbacks you could not do that. He's unique to that system, but he also has a unique set of skills that will allow him to be the kind of student and the disciplinarian to perfect that system. And I'll finish it by saying this. I'll use Dwight Howard as the example.
Oh, please!
The Lakers played the triangle, and when Dwight Howard came there, he couldn't fit in that system. He could not figure out that system. That system required things of him, and other players have tried to adapt to that system. That's a system. But some people, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and other people, Shaq, they fit that system perfectly. So, yes, the system, it has something to do with it, but Brady is absolutely what's making that system go.
That was my case. But, again, it's this ongoing discussion and conversation. You talk about, guys, and they say, no, I think it's the system, because they'll point out Matt Castle. Matt Castle went 11-5. And you know me and my analogies. I was like, well, wait a minute now. If we look at the Patriots, we had this discussion. We look at the Patriots. The Patriots as a whole, they are like the race car. But when you hire the driver, that's who wins the races. I ain't saying the car is insignificant because you got to have something with some horsepower and all of that, and your suspension got to be right and whatnot. But if the driver is irrelevant, then in other words, if you put driver A in the car and he wins 10 championship cups or whatever it is, and that you remove that driver, then whatever other driver you put in, he got to be able, if it's the system now, he should be able to do the same thing that the first driver did. At least. If not the same thing, at least half of that. You get what I'm trying to tell you? So, yeah, my position is it's more so Brady than the system. While I give Belichick, and I've said it before, there's other guys players who mention how, in Bill Parcells, how critical Belichick's mind is to whatever success he's had. I won't take that from him. But I'm not saying that Tom Brady is just chopped liver. But anyway, Double J, did you sound like you had something in the background you wanted to say, or was that you just coughing, or were you sipping on the yak again? Got you. Yeah, so...
No. Let's be realistic here. If Tom Brady goes down, they're talking about the GOAT. Of course there's going to be panic.
No, but all you got to do is call Matt Castle.
Unproven guys behind him.
All you got to do, but it's the system. And we're not going to make this about the Patriots, but I'm just saying.
Who said it was the system?
Listen.
Who said it was a combination of the two? That system is why you have 3 running backs that may average over 1,000 yards.
Okay. I'm just checking. I was just checking. All right, I got you. Okay.
Facts only.
Okay, so it's 50-50. All right, I got you. I'll take that more so than that is. It's not Brady, but it's all the system. All right. So, but now you know that. So let's be clear before we move on to the Bills and the Giants. So you and Brother Richard are fans of the Browns, the Patriots, the Jaguars, the Texans, the Packers, the Lions, the Chargers, Alabama. Did we throw it? Who did we leave out? Clemson. Oh, Michigan State, Wyoming. Who else? Who else are you? Oh, Oakland Athletics, because the guy's beard is fantastic. And who did we leave out? Anybody? Double J.
Yeah, all those teams versus the Cowboys. So yes, all of us versus you. Correct.
Double J, don't you even think about signing off on that. Okay, let's get to this Bills and Giants. Who is surprised on this panel today that the Bills are 2-0? Who would expect that? Anybody? I mean, let's not all talk at once. Anybody? Don't raise your hand. RB, did you? I mean, did you see?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I didn't see that either. Now the Bills might be the Bills. Now there's some talk about Ramsey might go over to Buffalo. If he go to the Bills, what? Can he be that one factor to disrupt that Patriot system? Finally, that AFC East division is weak, man. It's a cakewalk for them guys every year. And there ain't no disrespect to the Patriots, but that AFC East, man, it's not a challenge for the most part. We see what the Jets gonna be. You know what I mean? But the Bills, RB, I'm putting it on you. I'm laying it at your feet, RB. Can the Bills challenge the Patriots? Josh Allen.
I think they can. After the time, yeah, they can.
Okay, you know what? When I see you at work, I'm gonna need you to not wear no Packer gear ever again. That's what I'm gonna need you to do. Go ahead, Brother Rich. What you think? No.
We trying to figure out. I think we're all trying to figure out. Is this a serious question?
Double J, you too. You know what I'm saying? You talking about double J sipping the yak. We wondering is the owner of the show, is the host, is the primary host sipping something? Somebody spiked your cowboy juice. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Oh my gosh!
You got that Jerry punch.
Oh, you know what? You all are terrible. That's TURRIBLE. Terrible. So what you're saying is the Giants are trash? Is that what you're saying? Double J, Giants are trash, right?
Well, what I did say is that Daniel Jones would be the starting quarterback before week 4.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna pull up the tape. Next week. Listen here.
I think you did say that, Double J. I think you did say that.
Hold on.
I think you did say that, and I think
no.
that was that.
No, I'm the one that hold it, y'all. I'm the one that said Daniel Jones might be better than advertised. You?
No. I remember you distinctly saying that. I remember you distinctly saying he was better than advertised. Nevertheless, here's the question that we're talking about, which we're responding to. You're asking about the New York Giants. Again, we're asking, is this the comedy hour of our show, the comedy portion, before we get to the serious, the teams that are going to contend like the Browns? Because we're wondering that the Giants had to dismantle their franchise by trading Odell Beckham to Cleveland to the point where he's wondering, wow, I got traded down there. His words, not ours. I love Cleveland. How you got family in Cleveland.
Yes.
So I love Cleveland.
Yes.
Nevertheless, but the fact is that they trade Odell Beckham, and now almost not even mid-season, they having to admit that they have to dismantle their squad by sitting down their franchise NFL family name quarterback and really embarrassing him, saying this is the end of your career right here in New York. It's over for you because you have been trashed for 2 years, and now everybody has to admit it's over for this guy. So now Giants fans have been saying for years, we got to get somebody to replace Eli Manning. But now everybody's looking at this team wasting the best years of this young running back and what could have been a great team. So now everybody's now excited about and having to admit that, they got to give the young guy a chance. But hey,
We got to see, can he deal with New York and the lights, and now the pressure is squarely on his shoulders, and now the media is about to come after him and dig into all aspects of his life and find out who he is, and now is he going to get the big hit like somebody else, but another championship team? But so we'll talk about that. But
yeah,
that's where it is.
I want to touch on right quick your comment about Odell. I heard what he said, about coming to Cleveland. I got traded from there, from the Giants. And it's truth is truth. Until the Browns prove otherwise, there are a lot of folks in a lot of circles going to see Cleveland as purgatory, and a lot of players too. So winning cures all. But, yeah, I want to see if Daniel Jones can handle that New York media, because that New York media is brutal. That's why certain players, he who must not be named, did not go over there and play, because the New York media don't play. Yeah, I mean, Brother Rich, you already know. They do not play. They are ruthless to no end. And can Daniel Jones handle that? I don't know. So is it a product, though? We're talking about the Giants and Eli Manning, and that Manning name. Eli is done. Is that what we're saying here? Eli is done? Or is it because his offensive line?
Like Thanksgiving turkey.
RB, what say you? Is it Eli, or is it his offensive line? Or is it just both? A combination of both, rather.
It's all of the above.
So it's time for
it's everything.
It's time for Daniel Jones. Is it time for Daniel Jones?
It's time for Daniel Jones. Yeah.
Okay, so now Double J, I'm coming back to you right quick. Let's say it's time for Double Jones. Ooh wee, yeah, I'm sipping on the yak. It's time for Daniel Jones. Eli. Let's say Eli's released or whatever. Will there be another NFL team to pick him up? And who would it be?
Well, something I've been calling for a while now has been Eli to be reunited with Tom Coughlin, and the circumstances have made the case about as good as it could be.
Okay.
You got Jalen Ramsey, of course, as we discussed, saying that, hey, I want to get out of here, but I don't know if bringing a two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback who understands the offense, has guys like Baby Shark, and it's really DJ Chark, and D.D. Westbrook as targets, and of course Leonard Fournette. If you get the right quarterback in the system there, you never know what can happen. It looks a whole lot better than just Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram. But, who knows? I think that would be the best possible destination for him, unless he was to, of course, be backing up Tom Brady.
Wow. RB, do you agree with that?
Double J sounds like Matt.
I was just getting ready to come to you too, Brother Rich. Do y'all agree with Double J? Laid that out kind of nicely for us, didn't he? But I find it interesting.
No, I don't. That's my man, but I don't agree with him at all.
No? Okay, well then what say you?
Absolutely not.
Okay, well what you say then?
Because I was going to say that Double J sound like the manager for Manny Pacquiao. He's going to tell him to box until he don't even remember his street address. Eli Manning is done.
Yeah. But I was going to say, okay, but
no, wait a minute. I said I was asking where he could go.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all. I was just getting ready to say that.
He can go to his house. He can go to his house. It's over for him. He can go home to his wife and children.
In all
and it's done for him.
You got Aaron Rodgers. He's a one-time Super Bowl winner.
Yeah.
He's got a great overall record. And you got a guy like Eli Manning who's got 2 Super Bowl rings, but his career record is actually 500.
Oh, wow.
Is he really a Hall of Famer?
Oh, see now.
No, he's not.
That's
Eli
another.
Manning is not a Hall of Famer. He's the beneficiary of circumstances. He was in the right place at the right time. The Giants were a franchise that was built and had everything, and he happened to have that name and be following in his family's legacy and be good enough to do just enough in that market to throw the ball and that wide receiver receive it. We all watched it, gentlemen. We all watched him, how he won his ring. He did just enough. That's why he will be considered a 50-50 quarterback. Yes, he's going to get in the Hall of Fame because he played in New York. He's a Manning, and he won 2 Super Bowls, so you have to put him in. But when you think of him, you don't think of him as some awesome quarterback. You don't think about him and associate him with being his brother. On the other hand, when you think of Peyton Manning, you think of somebody that said, "Man, that guy could play that position."
Yeah.
But certainly, I don't think we can think about him in that light. He definitely does not reflect that.
So let me throw this out there then, and we'll get to the rest of the NFL Week 2 action here in a minute. What does it say about a guy who's really, because it sounded to me like we're saying Eli's lightweight, a bum, lightweight. It ain't. It was everything else more so than him. He just happened to, put the key in the ignition. What does it say?
If Joe Flacco's a bum, he's a bum.
We're not talking about Joe Flacco right now. We're getting to that. But I'm saying, so then what does it say about the legacy of the Patriots and who the Patriots are and all that? If this guy, this bum, who is not Hall of Fame worthy, goes in there twice, they beat the Patriots, man. Twice. See, because we lend ourselves when we having the conversations about, and you know me, you and I, Brother Rich, this was reserved for more so for individual guys, and we talked about, and I'm not saying Eli by no means is great or nothing, but when you and I were having a conversation about greatness, what determines a player's greatness or how good a guy is or how often he should be discussed, it's not so much him, but then what about who he went up against or what he went up against that helps to determine how we see him, right? So Eli beat the Patriots twice. So what do that say about the Patriots? And then beating the Patriots, the vaunted Patriots now, and the GOAT. See, first time you're a victim. Anytime after that, you're a volunteer. You beat me once, all right, but you beat me twice? Eli ain't no Hall of Famer, maybe, but what do that say about Bill on them over there that you got beat by a bum twice? Holla at your boy, man. Holla at your boy.
I think that's easy. I think that's easy. You answered it when you asked the question. Eli did not beat Tom Brady. Eli beat the Patriots.
Okay.
Eli beat the Patriots. And on one of those plays, Eli beat the Patriots on a play that, to this day, the guy probably joined church after he caught that ball because he never made another play like that after. I had to Google him to find out who this guy was. You see, and he signed with he was gone right after that. What did he ever do after that?
And you know what? I forgot his name,
like
to be honest
almost
with you.
A Hail Mary, if you will. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
We don't know his name to this day. David Tyree. Okay, yeah. We don't even know his name until Double J reminded us of it. But we know Brady because absent that one circumstance, he wins again. And we know the circumstances where he has been battling and he has fought. We know what Brady brings to the table. That's why we're saying, wait a minute, man, we're flabbergasted. Wow, Eli Manning won 2 rings. In the future, people won't even believe it. They won't even associate his name with 2 rings. They'll think his brother won 5 rings because of the kind of player he was. He played in Indianapolis. He lifted the franchise. He built it. Took it on his shoulders. Unfortunately, the end, how he departed, but nevertheless, you associate him with winning more so than his brother. Fact.
No, because if you're a fan out there, I don't disagree with that. If you're a fan out there, and we talking football and quarterbacks, whatever, Peyton Manning rolls right off the tongue. You get what I'm saying? So I'm with you on that. Eli Manning, they'd be like, who? What? You got to go look him up. So that's kind of like what the difference. We're in the second segment or hour of the show, I should say. Let me take that back. The number to call if you're up and around, out and about, and you want to give us a shout is area code 267-687-0026. That number again, area code 267-687-0026. RB, are you still with us?
I'm right here.
All right. Now we're going to the Seahawks and the Steelers. RB, I'm going to let you have this one. Right now, the Seahawks, they're winning, but I don't at the tune that they're winning, I don't really see them making no noise as season play out. But again, we got 13, 14 weeks left to go, so it's still a little bit of time. But right now, they're kind of like, ho hum. But I want to really get to the Steelers, man. What's going on with Pittsburgh? You think Le'Veon and AB, and we're not even about to talk about the AB thing no more. Do you think Le'Veon A.B. somewhere over there like a Cheshire cat? Because you know Big Ben busted his elbow up in throwing motion.
Right.
What you think, huh? The Steelers.
What do I think about the situation?
Are the Steelers done? Really, is what I'm asking you.
I mean, yeah, we know they're done. I mean, they're done. You know, no Brown, no Bell, no Burger. They're done. You know, they're getting ready for the draft. So.
But they say Mason Rudolph, Oklahoma State, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he go to Oklahoma State? Mason Rudolph looked pretty good back there. So they might be. They might.
Yeah,
they might be able to salvage something this season.
Right, him, Connor, and Juju. Right, that's their future.
But then the future is now for Pittsburgh because you know they don't play that down there in Steelerland.
Oh.
And who was that? Was that
the future is now?
The future is now. Okay, Double J, what say you about the Steelers more so than the Seahawks?
Well, you know, again, they're very much in turmoil. Unfortunately, you know, kind of as I alluded to, with stemming from the departures of, you know, 2 All-Pros and Le'Veon Bell, who looked like he was crying himself yesterday evening with his new team. But
I saw that.
Brown,
I saw that on.
You can't.
You talking about when he was on the sidelines putting his mouthpiece in?
Yeah,
I thought that. I was like, man, is he crying? But anyway, go ahead, finish. There's no crying in football.
Yeah. So right. And unfortunately, I think that you know, Mike Tomlin's final lifeline has been used here, and he's going to go down fleeing. Though he made the move again with Miami to get the safety over there.
Yeah, is it Minkah Fitzpatrick?
So, you know, because these guys are just Minkah Fitzpatrick. Look, if you can't stop anyone, just like the Dolphins, go figure, you're not going to win very many games in this league. And you know, they have a great line. They have a decent running back. They have a young receiver in Juju. But again, overall here, if you have no defense, you know, you're going to get beat, plain and simple. So, however, I don't think Tomlin is going to make it to the end of the year. I think the Rooneys will make a move, you know, by likely going into their bye week.
How long has Tomlin been with the Steelers? Just a roundabout figure.
I would say almost 10 years.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
It's been there almost 10 years since Cowher retired.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Maybe even longer than that. 12, 13? Yeah, maybe even longer than that.
They've been very fortunate with their head coaches.
I know. I would like to see. I wonder if Cowher will come back. I doubt it. Yeah, they've only had like, what, 4 that I can recall since the 70s. That's amazing. Meanwhile, Brother Richard and Double J's favorite team, and mine too, to a certain degree, have had, what, that many coaches in the amount of years.
The Cowboys are winning?
Yeah, actually they are, but they're not my team. They're America's team still, okay, based on the idea that the Cowboys have more fans than the Browns. You know, right now I can understand why the Cowboys do have fans. I ain't going to say so much for the Browns, but we're getting to that right now. We're getting to that. So, yeah.
I'm sure it took a lot of facts and persuasion to get you to understand that point.
Yeah. You and Brother Rich, y'all really got the jokes here lately, these last couple of weeks, but it's cool. I got some new equipment coming here very shortly. I've been saying I'm going to use this button, but the equipment I got coming, it's already buttons built in, baby, and I will be using them. Trust and believe that. Are we impressed with the Seahawks?
You got Antonio Brown's helmet. That's what it was. Fitted with that cowboy star on it.
Oh, ha, ha. Yeah, I'm going to tell Matt Stafford you said that. Now go catch one of those passes from the Jugs machine. Are we impressed with the Seahawks? Anybody?
No.
I'm going to say yeah. I'm actually going to say yeah with this one. And the reason why is because of the job that Pete Carroll's been able to do. You know, he's nearly lost that entire locker room, you know, over these past 2 seasons, and he's actually not getting enough credit for rebuilding and keeping that team consistent despite paying the quarterback. So, you know, if you recall, they had that Legion of Boom defense with Russ making, essentially minimum wage. And now, of course, the tables have turned, as you've seen in the various pictures, and where he's clearly displaying his circumstances. And but again, enough's not being said. They fixed that offensive line quickly. They figured it out at running back. They went and got, you lost guys like Doug Baldwin and Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
And yet you were able to plug and play in so many different positions across the board. You kept your staples on offense and defense, again, with Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner. And then you went and you traded Frank Clark only to bring in Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, again, the guy's not getting enough credit in him and the general manager. And at one point in time, again, those two were somewhat at odds with one another, but they kept it together, and they're making the best of the situation. And that's not easy to do in this league.
Yeah, well, they're 2-0. I'm not 2-0. Are they 2-0? I don't even know what the heck are they 2-0.
Yeah, they're 2-0.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, they're 2-0.
In Pittsburgh.
That's right, sure did. But I was really trying to where I was going with that was more so to say the Steelers are 0-2. And that is a no-no at Heinz Field. You all know that. It's a lot of Steelers fans. But you know what? And RB can attest to this. Normally, ordinarily, the Steelers fans that's here in Cleveland, they get to, rah around the same old Browns or whatever. And it's kind of eerie almost to hear them not hear them talking or have nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, just if only for a moment, because if anybody writes the ship or can in a season, it could possibly be the Steelers. But if only for a moment, y'all just about as bad as the Browns are, or as the Browns have been, as y'all claim for them to be. But I will say this: is Russell Wilson right now, based on what he's done so far, Brother Rich? I'm gonna put it to you first, then RB, then Double J. Is Russell Wilson a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Absolutely. And that's where I was going to go with that. My argument with that. I'm impressed with Russell Wilson more so than the Seattle Seahawks. I think they're absolutely everything that Double J showed us. They've absolutely made all those moves. You have to be impressed with them. But I see them like the Houston Rockets. He's like James Harden to me. Great regular season player, but when it gets to the playoffs, you start to see the flaws that come up in what's going on with them. Their decision making going all the way back, and so that system is still in place. That decision making is still there, and there's still some things there that you see yet to be worked out. And nevertheless, Russell Wilson is definitely impressive. Absolutely.
I would agree with that too. Up next, of course, is the Colts at the Titans. Now, I'll be the first one to eat a little crow. After the Titans put that shellacking on the Cleveland Browns, disgusting, still bad taste in my mouth to this day right now. After the Titans put that shellacking on the Browns, I just knew that my early season prediction somewhat, because, when we did the division discussions, I was like, hey, man, watch out for these dudes. The division could be theirs, with the Titans, with the Texans struggling that offensive line. I just knew the Titans, the Titans was going to run away with the division. Andrew Luck going down. Then all of a sudden, here comes Jacoby Brissett. What in the world, Brother Rich, happened the other day that the Colts and Brissett was able to go into Tennessee and beat them Titans? I need you to explain that to me, man. Can you please? Can you try?
I explained this very simply. They are who we thought they were. They've been overrated. I never had that kind of confidence in them. They beat the Browns not because of them, but because of the Browns. We'll get to that in a moment. But nevertheless, I didn't have that kind of confidence. You were trying to show us their potential from a football perspective, absolutely. And I take all of that into consideration. Nevertheless, in terms of what they were putting out on the field in terms of a product, I never had the kind of confidence in them because they were always one of those mid-major, mid-market. They're the same kind of team that does enough. So they'll be good here, but they'll be missing here. They can fill the gap here. They'll have this kind of quarterback, this kind of this. They'll always be missing and plugging. They'll always be one of those kind of plug-and-play teams. And I'll get to this in one of the points I want to mention with football. The NFL collective bargaining agreement is going to have to. This is why players are really understanding they're going to have to make some moves, and this is why the owners are going to have to be honest with themselves as to whether they really want to spend money to make mid-market teams, mid-majors as they would be called in college basketball, really competitive, because it takes them too long to get the kind of players to stay consistent, because they'll get a good player for now, but he doesn't want to stay. And the Titans have always been, since they've been in the league, that kind of team. Go check their history. And so when you would point them out, it's understanding that in football, a team like that, they get an injury because they had a good or decent or great player, but he gets an injury. Now, where do they get the money, or where do they spend the money, or do they have the kind of resources to go out and get the kind of, or make the kind of move, or invest the kind of resources in terms of draft picks to replace that player? You always find that with the mid-majors like Tennessee.
Yeah, that was well said. I can agree with everything you just said right there, 100%. Yeah, and that CBA is coming up faster than we think. Double J, I need you in your in your Michigan flavor, or in your Cowboy flavor, whichever flavor you choose. Explain to me what in the world happened. How is it that the Colts beat the Titans? Excuse me. In your own words.
Well, again, the Colts played to their strengths. Again, you looked at Jacoby Brissett finding what was available with, linking up with T.Y. Hilton, all the way down to both of his tight ends. And they have great tight ends. But, it's more so Marcus Mariota and his inability to hit his receivers.
I know, man. What is going
Delaney
on?
Walker and Derrick Henry, those three, or outside of those two, the rest of that offense is literally disposable.
And that makes the Browns look even worse, if you ask me. But go ahead.
Very concerning. Well, and that's just it. They were very one-dimensional against Cleveland, and they beat them, with the two weapons that they really have, unfortunately. And then it opened up everything else. There was even a Corey Davis sighting in Week 1. And, he was, again, became the invisible man again, against the Colts.
Yeah. That was it. I forgot all about him, to tell you the truth. Yeah, they did. They were, Mariota, what is up with these new wave of quarterbacks, man, like him, that just cannot, is it Vrabel? Is he not just getting Vrabel's system? And we heard,
it's not. No, it's Mariota himself. Look, they had a chance to win that game. Honestly, They probably should have won this game.
Okay, gotcha.
And they ultimately fell short. But it was his decision making at the end of the game that cost them the game. So again, it comes down to the quarterback and the receivers was what they were attempting to do. I would encourage you not to watch the game in its entirety. Just watch the final 2 minutes and watch what Tennessee does with the ball offensively, and you put your hands on your head because you're just saying, you have no answers. Vrabel's a defensive-minded coach. It makes sense with what he did with New England, but unfortunately, they maybe should have called Bruce Arians for him. For Mariota, he's the one who needs help.
Yeah. And I was flipping back and forth between games, and I did not catch the last. Actually, I missed like the last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter. I did not catch it, but even still, man. So we're giving props to Jacoby Brissett, right? That what we're doing too?
Absolutely, because he filled the role and some. Everybody wrote this team off. Andrew Luck retired because he anticipated that this team, the teammate that he had around him, in addition to the injury. Of course, I don't want to ever take that part away from him about his quality of life, but he look, let's face it, Tom Brady keeps playing because he knows what he has albeit the system, the players around him. If he had Andrew Luck's situation, I would not be surprised if Tom Brady would have retired 5 years ago.
That's fair too. Yeah,
so,
that's a good assessment. Yeah. Go ahead.
So again, this team was written off, and so Jacoby Brissett does deserve all the credit because again, they've said time and time again that he commands the locker room really well. He seems to be to understand the flow of the game and simply be a game manager. He's not being told to go out there and just win them these games single-handedly. He's using what's available to him, and that's not really all you can ask for the time being.
Yeah, because you talk about the Colts being written off. Who didn't, including myself, kind of was like, ooh, Andrew Luck went not 0-16, but, well, they might as well get ready for the next year's draft. So I'm impressed by that, But see, that's –
Well, look, if Watson does not hold up, the Colts may be your division winner.
Yeah, can't argue that. Can't argue that. But you know what? Let me touch on this right quick. Let me stay with this right quick. We just got done talking about the fact once Andrew Luck went down, almost to a man, everybody had written the Colts off, right? But somewhere in that locker room, them players said, you know what? The same thing and the same message I've been preaching for I don't know how long. Brother Rich, my thing is, I'm not saying you're going to win them all or you're going to lose them all, but a lot of times you win more than you expected to or more than you should just by what? Not how fast you can throw it, not for how many touchdowns, not for anything statistical. It's about, you know what? When I look in the mirror today, I'm going to let that dude across from me know that it ain't going to be easy. Not today. I just think that the Colts so far, their attitude, especially in that game, and I know the Titans, excuse me, oh boy. Ooh. The folks on the other side got their issues too, but still, the Colts had to make a decision. You know what, man? We're going to go out and ball today and let the chips fall where they may. Their attitude, man. That's why I was so disappointed in the Browns, man, the way they came out in that first game, man. I know this in the week 2 or whatnot, but that's still.
Are we talking about the Browns now?
No, we're not talking about the Browns now. I'm just making a point and how you got to do a self-check as a player.
So can we leave the Browns out of this?
No, we're not leaving the Browns out. When it comes to doing self-checking, we're not leaving the Browns out of there. You got to accept accountability for your inactions. But anyway, moving on.
We should just clap this one off like Jason Garrett.
Yeah, that hard clap. Oh, wow. This guy's a regular comedian. Moving on. The Dallas Cowboys at the Washington Generals, because that's what they're looking like right now in Washington over there. Daniel Snyder, that guy, oh, man. If I think I'm going to try to get in touch with Daniel Snyder. I'll say, look, man, if you give him money or you throwing money away, throw some over here so I can split it with Double Jam Brother Rich. You know what I mean? Because they're going to need some fuel in that drop top to go to the parade that ain't nobody going to be at. But you know what I'm trying to tell you? How about them Cowboys, Brother Rich? Dak and Zeke looking good over there. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. What'd you say?
Of course they do. How about them? How about them? Jerry Jones got, as they say in this world, all the money in the world. So he wants to spend it. He's determined to have a great Cowboy run one more time. So how about them? I'm not surprised. They're living up to their brand. They should be nice. If they weren't 2-0, we should be upset because of the kind of money that they're being able to and allowed to spend. He's willing to go to whatever heights and do what he needs to do to secure his franchise for the next several years going forward. How about him? Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Not at all. Absolutely not.
RB.
We're not surprised you guys. We're not surprised you guys.
That's why.
That don't mean we're fans of you guys.
That's why I was going RB right quick because I knew you was getting ready to throw me in there. Don't try that. Don't try that because I'm gonna tell you why. I keep mentioning the Cowboys as emphatically as I do here in a minute. But RB, are the Cowboys for real? They whooped up on Washington lightweight and they did it in grand fashion. Are the Cowboys for real? Are they a threat in the NFC?
Yeah, they're a threat. That's all. They're a threat.
Well, you say they're a threat. Hold on.
That's it.
You say they're a threat, but you don't sound enthused. There's no enthusiasm behind that. You got to say it with some force.
It's the Cowboys.
It's the Cowboys.
It's the Cowboys.
I didn't hear that last part.
I said it's the Cowboys. I'm never enthused.
Ooh. Boy, y'all bringing a whole lot of life to this show today. You know what I mean? Anytime I mention the Cowboys, you know what I'm saying, the little meter I got that registers everybody's voice just drops all the way to the left. But it's cool. I'm going to tell you all why. Double J, don't you say a word, not right now. I recall a certain person on this platform, on this program, when we were going through the divisions saying that, asking, first off, was the NFC East the toughest division in football? Do you, brothers, you recall somebody asking that question? Oh, right. Oh, okay. Double J, do you recall? RB, I know you recall because you and I talked about it at the job. I'm just asking, is the tough division? No. Oh, I got a lot of pushback. Oh, no, these are terrible. Oh, my gosh. And what, Double J, you had something extra to say. They need to go jump in the river. Oh, it was all bad. It was all bad. And then in particular, I asked.
Well, you didn't ask. It was stated.
I didn't.
Stated
I
that
did.
It was the toughest division of football.
Okay, you know what? When the show is done for today, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull up that show because it's a few of them. I'm gonna pull that show up and I'm gonna send it to you and Brother Richard because based on my recollection, and I will be the first one to admit to y'all, I have bouts of senility and old timers. I'm accepting it. I'm cool with it. But I distinctly recall asking, was it the toughest division in football? And then maybe after we got into it, I was a little bit more vehement about, wait a minute, hold on, and trying to defend whether or not it was the toughest division in football. But nonetheless, then I asked in particular and kind of pointed out and laid it out. The Cowboys signed Zeke. Why won't they win the division? Oh, I got a lot of pushback from that. No, you need to put your shoes on the right feet. Go stand in the corner. All that old kind of talk I was getting from you and Brother Rich, Double J. Now here we are. I know it's still 2,700 weeks left in the season. But as of right now, if we giving some other teams being credit for being 2-0, I mean.
I thought you was about to talk about the playoffs. I thought y'all was about to say y'all in the playoffs.
Oh, so
you about to tell us.
Oh,
get on us because y'all in the playoffs.
Okay. So that's what it is. That's what it is. Double J, you in agreement with that too? Because it's not the playoff. The Cowboys 2-0 is blase.
Jay, it's the Cowboys. If y'all were not 2-0, it's the Cowboys with the kind of money you all have spent, with the kind of money y'all are worth. It's the Cowboys. The season just started. People are going down like flies and malaria. Come on, man. People are going down the malaria attack in the jungle. Serious. Come on, man. The NFL players are sitting out. Come on.
Yeah. RB, you just sitting by the wayside enjoying it. Go ahead, Double J. You sound like you wanted to weigh in right quick. You know, you wanted to I'm getting the feeling here that you and Brother Rich are not just soccer fans, but y'all kind of like WWE fans too. And it's some kind of tag team match. Chris Jericho, you know, all that kind of stuff going on. And you done tagged him in. And now, okay, well, go ahead. It's cool. I got you. I'm the Undertaker. Go ahead, say your piece. And I'm not a Cowboys fan.
You know, it takes a lot to be able to pop that balloon of the Cowboys fandom there.
Yeah, got you. I'm just saying, we get what the expectations surrounding the Cowboys are, as Brother Richard so eloquently pointed out. But if we're gonna give credit for 2-0, why I gotta stop at they though? That's all I want to know. Come on, man. Don't be mad at them dudes, man.
Well, let's wait.
And I'm not no Ohio State football fan. Go ahead.
You're telling us that it's the toughest division in football.
I asked the question. I did not make that statement.
You got a rookie quarterback.
Who's a rookie? Who a rookie? Dak ain't no rookie.
Daniel Jones. You just said that, the previous quarterback of the Giants wasn't a Hall of Famer. You said that now they got a rookie
quarterback.
quarterback.
Was he a Hall of Famer? I asked was Eli Manning.
Carson Wentz.
Man, you're not gonna put that.
You can't put his shoes on the right feet. and then you're going against the Washington Generals, as you appropriately coined them. What is this? This is and yet here we are.
But here's the deal. If the
while you're watching a throne, you're the Queen's Guard there over in Jerry World, and yeah, I'm waiting. We're all waiting for it when it's playoff time now, for you to let's go ahead and start talking divisional matchups, huh?
Okay. So now let me throw this out here at you. Let the Cowboys had been 0-2 in this terrible division, and I wouldn't have been hearing nothing about, it's just Philly. It's just Washington. It's the Giants are in disarray. I wouldn't have been hearing none of that. Either you, Double J.
That's right, because you would have said how tough the division is. That's exactly why you wouldn't have heard any of that. We wouldn't have been able to say anything.
Okay, so can we just for today, so that we can get to the other teams, can we just for today give the Cowboys credit for being 2-0 and for Zeke having signed? That was my whole deal. I'm glad Zeke signed, man. As much as I hate Ohio State football, I hate the idea and the perception and the ideology.
So you're the guy who stands outside the bank, right? You're the poor guy who stands outside the bank and waits for the billionaire to bring his bags of cash and applause, right? So we're supposed to applaud because the rich got richer.
No.
It's the Cowboys.
No. What I'm saying, that's not nice, whoever's doing that. What I'm saying is the ideology and the perception, yeah, I hear you back there, that the running back position is devalued. It's, you don't need one. You can get anybody. Like in Pittsburgh, they don't need Le'Veon Bell. You get James Conner. I don't like the fact that position is devalued. I think it's one of the most difficult positions in the sport, if we're calling it that, of football, especially at the NFL level. I don't like how the household name guys that play that position, when they go around, because we talked about it before, about how management, when they decide to cut your throat or whatever it is, ain't no backlash from the court of public opinion about that. But when a player wants to say, hey, I think I outplayed my contract, my 4-year contract or whatever it is in year 2, let's renegotiate, the backlash is, he ain't worth it, and he ain't this, and that, and that. I just like, every now and again revisiting the fact that, yeah, a guy is worth it. And all I really want to do is point out the fact that right now,
in particular, the Cowboys.
No, I'm pointing out the fact that Ezekiel Elliott is proving my case to be worth every dime. See what I'm saying? Every dime. He's worth every dime. Go Zeke. And I hate Ohio State football. Hate it, absolutely. RB, you got something you want to say about Ohio State football and me hating Ohio State football? Or you want to toss in like Brother Rich and Double J right now? You want to say, you want to talk about the Hurricanes being 0-2, losing to North Carolina? I'm ready for all of that today. That's what I thought. Ain't nobody got nothing else to say. And we're going to keep rolling and rolling.
Did he play for Ohio State?
Yeah, Ezekiel Elliott played at Ohio State.
I know that, but I'm talking about who does he play for right now?
When
you're defending him, you're not defending. You got to.
He plays for the.
Why you defend him? We know why.
He plays for the. He played why? Because he got a Chick-fil-A bag? No, stop it. He played for the Ohio State Cowboys. Anywho, we're gonna move this thing right along. This train is going. If you're up and around, you're out and about, and you want to give us a shout, we are in the last portions or last hours or minutes of the show. The number to call is area code 267-687-0026. Once again, the number to call is area code 267-687-0026. Chiefs beat the Raiders 28-10. Despite the score, I think even in the loss, this says more about the Raiders, because I think somebody on this show also said something about the Raiders might be a little bit better this year than what folks was giving them credit for. Do you, Brother Rich, you recall somebody on this program saying that? Or no?
I recall that.
Do you? Oh, really? Oh, wow. I thought your old timers were kicking in right there. Oh, Double J, do you recall somebody on this program saying that the Raiders might be a little bit better than what they than what most folks thought they might be? Do you recall that, Double J?
Yeah, I certainly do. We had that a great discussion about it.
Really? So wait a minute. Or can you tell me who that person was that said that the Raiders might be? I don't want to get things, mixed. I want to make sure I'm right about who it was that said it. You want to maybe tell the folks out there?
If you recall, you were feeling good about the Cowboys and where this
I thought
were at that time.
We were off the Cowboys. We're talking about the Raiders right now. See what I'm saying? You just want to throw the Cowboys
No, I know,
back in
but
there.
it was because of, you were all pumped up, feeling good. You had some of the juice in you, and now and then you said some positive things about the Raiders.
Wow, really? Are you all that? You got all the way to a crescendo just for a drop off like that? Really? You're not gonna give me my credit? It's all good. RB, what say you about the Raiders right now? Are they impressed? Even though they lost to the Chiefs, are they lightweight impressing you in the way that they playing? No, maybe not. I think we lost RB. It's all to the good. We'll try to get him back here in a minute, Brother Rich. We'll come right back to you on it then. Are you impressed by the Raiders? Even though they lost to the Chiefs, are you impressed by the Raiders?
No, not necessarily. Again, I'm not impressed by the Raiders. The Raiders don't impress me yet because another franchise that is who have they played? How do they look in terms of what we expect them to be? Now here we have a franchise that has Mayock, that has Gruden, 10 years, this $100 million package deal, this explosive new thing about to happen in Vegas. So at some point, this investment needs to start paying off. So we can't even begin to tell us what's happening with the Raiders until this one of those teams, like another team we just mentioned, your team, the Cowboys, we cannot even judge how they're performing yet until midseason. We can't even deal with that until we see them go through at least half the season. We can't even deal with whether or not they're living up to expectations, because right now you see them running over the early season opponents who are not as well equipped, who are not as well, who are not yet together. The Cowboys were in camp early, except for Zeke. They were there early. They've been working on their thing. We saw a lot of work with Dak's team early. They went through a lot of things. They were a lot more cohesive because they were coming off of a good end of last year. No, I'm not surprised at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. You see, I like how we was talking about the Raiders, but you're going to throw the Cowboys back in there. You and Double J, y'all not slick.
Well, we like to make it. You did invite us on the platform. We got to make you feel at home. We got to talk about your home team.
Yeah, I was born that night, not last night. I see how you slid that in there. Double J and see, here's the killer part. Double J gonna slip it in there, and then that was your cue. Like, oh, okay, let me finish it off. Talk about the Cowboys. We're talking about the Oakland, soon-to-be Las Vegas Raiders. Okay, so we're not in agreement, or we disagree that the Raiders are lightweight on the come up and might be better than advertised or expected this season. Let me ask this, Double J. You can weigh in first, and then we'll come back to you, Brother Rich, San Diego, smoking cigars, Phillip Rivers, all that good stuff. Is Josh Jacobs, at least to this point, as good as advertised?
Absolutely, he's the real deal.
I'm surprised I don't have a repeat. I wish I had a repeat button on here where I could play that back right quick. Say that. Would you say that again? Absolutely, he's the real deal. Because I seem to recall somebody else on this program saying that about that guy as well. But go ahead, I'll let you finish.
Well, certainly, look, though, you're talking about 150 targets that got to be split, and that doesn't always work out. Look at the Jets. Look at the Bills. There's a handful of teams league-wide that just because the ball's got to get thrown somewhere doesn't mean they're going to catch it. Dante Moncrief, as an example. And so what these three gentlemen have been asked to do, and at a high level, nobody expected them to win, a game, especially in week one against on the road. And then, of course, to compete with arguably a Super Bowl contender in Kansas City. So, by all means, yes, I cannot complain at all about, what they've been capable of doing. And we'll see. I mean, they have a number of picks stacked up there that, they should have something, that will make some butts come in the seats other than what's given, from away from the casino.
I want to say something about the Chiefs too, right quick, because I like the Raiders. I told you, I mean, I'm not no Raiders fan like y'all say. I'm a Cowboys fan, but I thought that they would be better this year than most folks wanted to give them credit for.
We would have never guessed.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't have. I want to say something about the Chiefs. They are an offensive juggernaut that can hold their own against the Patriots. But again, the questions surrounding the Chiefs are, and here's really what I want to what I want to know. If they don't win a Super Bowl, or at least get to the Super Bowl this year, let me say that. If they don't beat the Patriots and get to the Super Bowl, because that should be the expectations with this team, at least from an offensive standpoint, and an Andy Reid scheme, off play calling, whatever. Is Andy Reid out of Kansas City, Brother Rich?
Absolutely.
I think so, too.
If he doesn't win with this guy, it's telling you he cannot win at all.
And
if he does not win with what he has now, it's over with.
I think so, too. Double J, what about you? What say you?
Oh, without a doubt. He went and brought one of his old buddies in from the old gang in Philly, and he's going to be fresh out of excuses if they don't get to the promised land in fast.
Yeah. The Chiefs have no reason not to win. They are, when I say they got weapons, and I know it was only 28 they put up on the Raiders, but my goodness, it's the way they did it. And again, I don't think the Raiders is no bums or no nothing like that, no bottom feeders. But the Chiefs, man, their offense, it clicks. I just don't understand why it does not translate to the postseason. But Andy Reid, I think this is his last go around too. He's gonna have to get something done there. Okay, Bears at the Broncos. Did we take anything away from there? The Bears finally made what was that field goal, Double J? 78 yards? If it wasn't, I'm being facetious. It's so short enough seemed like it because the way folks celebrated that field goal, it was like, hey. But there was some questionable calls in that game. The rest, man, they really, I don't know. They're going to have to start being held accountable. There's going to have to be some sort of pushback consequence, some sort of something. You know what I mean? You make 26 bad calls in a week, then, you get a $2,200 fine or something. I don't know, something. They can't just keep doing this or whatnot. But kudos to the Bears. They won in the fashion in this game against the Broncos that they couldn't win when all the chips were on the marble. So, Brother Rich, are you impressed with the Bears? Not the defense, because we know the defense is a championship.
Absolutely not. They're not going to win anything. They're not going anywhere either.
Man,
you're going to win something with Mitch Trubisky. Again, is this a comedy part of our conversation before we get to the real champions? Mitch Trubisky? No, sir. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, and I think the Broncos, John Elway might be, well, what is John Elway's position in Denver, Double J? Is he GM? He's not.
He's the, yeah.
Yeah, he might be done too because he cannot, and that's another example. And I heard Barry Sanders say this once. Asking him.
I tell you this, I doubt it very seriously. He's done. He's got a forever contract. He's done when he wants to be done. Absolutely not. This is John Elway, and this is the Denver Broncos. Put them together.
Yeah, I get it. He got a statue, maybe 2 or 3 statues out front of the building. But at the end of the day, well, I mean, that is a strong point. But
because I got to ask you this, Jay,
he's a terrible talent evaluator.
You just
terrible at quarterback.
No, but we just talked about the Raiders. The Raiders invested 10 years in Gruden. He's not a legacy. How long do you think
okay, that's a fair point.
Denver is willing to invest? That's what I'm asking.
Okay,
look at it from a football point of view.
Okay,
how long would they be willing to invest in their legacy?
I got you.
He's worth at least 5 years by himself in terms of season ticket holders that just want to be affiliated because of him and what he brought to the city. They've won in the last several years. We know them as winners.
Got you. All right, that's fair. When you threw the word legacy in there, that kind of changed the whole scope of things. But go ahead, Double J. Finish that off for me, though. Does that change your perspective a little bit? You know what I'm saying? By him being the legacy Elway, that is?
Well, you know what? It doesn't change a whole lot. It kind of reminds me about Magic Johnson. where
okay.
Again, things can go south, and it'll never truly tarnish the reputation that you have or your connections to the franchise and how you're viewed overall. Because again, let's face it, even if he were to have another disastrous season in Denver, he still was responsible partially for bringing a championship to Denver. He's the guy that was awaiting Peyton Manning on that G5.
Yeah.
So when you look at it from that side of things, John Elway is synonymous with every ring that franchise has.
That's another good point, Brother Richard. That was a good one with the legacy, and then Double J. That was a good one. Yeah, synonymous. See how much the difference a word can make in the perspective that you come away with. Yeah. All right. Argument for me. Yeah. John Elway is in Denver for another 27 years. I got you. Saints at the Rams. Did the Saints once again get shafted, Double J, by the refs? And is this now seeming to be somewhat personal? The NFL and the Saints, and if it is, what's so personal about it?
I start to wonder who hates. Who does the NFL hate more, the Saints or Barstool Sports? And unfortunately, the Barstool.
Yeah.
El Prez and those guys can still make a living off of pizza reviews, but the Saints got to go out there every Sunday and deal with these referees. And now you got the injury to Drew Brees, and I still believe that they can come out with as the division winner, or at the very least as a wild card, and that's where they're going to at least have a somewhat. They'll have a shot. They'll have an opportunity still, but overall, man, you just look at it, and it's happening too frequently.
Mm-hmm.
You look at across the league, and you can only, you can pick one team here, one team there where it happens. But it's like every Saints game at this point, there's some disastrous call that's nearly costing every game.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree. And what it's starting to look like to me is something that Brother Rich, you and I have been discussing off air about the whole New Orleans thing. You get what I'm saying? So go ahead, man. What's going on with these Saints and the refs, man? You know what I mean? This is like, okay, we y'all got one, but I don't know, because some of these calls.
Again, I believe that what we're looking at when the New Orleans franchise is, and I'm going to say it because we're allowed to say anything on this platform. We're allowed to speak our mind, and I believe that the New Orleans Saints, when they play, the city that they're in, and we're going to see this more and more, that's a team that we have to look at to see how are their games impacted by gambling. How does the line, or whatever that's called, how is gambling affected by those calls, and what's going and over and unders and things? Because when you see this kind of consistent thing in New Orleans and what's going on there and the whole culture of the city, gambling and the vibration and everything is going on down there. That's what you go down there to do. Have a good time, Mardi Gras, go gamble, be down there on the street, down there on the strip, and have a wonderful blast. So we're wondering now, is our games impacted when you deal with playing in the Superdome and in that environment? Now that gambling is legal and about to be rampant throughout the league. And with Double J pointing to us how much these lines are impacted by, what is the industry you just referenced, Double J? What's that industry you're talking about? The fantasy thing? What do you call that? You give it a
absolute. That's DraftKings and and
FanDuel.
Yeah, I'm hip to them too. But it's interesting seeing how this thing gonna go moving forward, because last year was last year in the championship, but that game the other day, man, I didn't get to see all of that either, because like I said, I was jumping back and forth. But the call, man, I was like, wow, okay, this seems to be, somebody got to get on the phone and say, okay, what we got going on here? It's just too obvious. That elephant in the room type deal. I can't even say Peyton or what. I think the Saints are just getting shafted. And then Drew Brees going down. We'll see what Teddy Bridgewater can do. All right, Eagles at the Falcons. Now, this game, we are not really going to spend any time on this because we want to get to our Monday night game, last but not least. And the reason why we're not going to spend no time on the Falcons and the Eagles, because Carson Wentz is dealing with the same thing in Philadelphia, or like I like to call him, Philadelphia, that Deshaun Watson is dealing with. The dude is I just don't understand how you have a franchise quarterback, and if it's a franchise quarterback driven league, that your offensive lines look as atrocious as they do for these franchise quarterbacks. I just don't get it. It's just mind-boggling to me. Yeah, the Falcons won. Yay, Julio did his thing. All right, we about to move on to the Monday night game. Is that okay with everybody? Because that really was ho-hum. I mean, I was kind of surprised, but I thought I picked the Eagles to win it. But, I mean, I'm not impressed by the Falcons at all. And I see that the Eagles, they going south for the winner already. The Browns at the Jets. Monday Night Football. So disgusted am I. Even though the Browns won, do not let the score fool you. The score was not indicative of how the game played. Even though OBJ showed up right on time. Yeah, y'all get the reference. Haha, the watch, okay. Because that catch and run was real nice. He put the Jets on. He had on his Pro-Cars on that run. But man, oh man, oh man. That offense. I'm sorry, man. Brother Rich, I know, dog pound, the whole nine, and rust and all that kind of stuff, man. But Myles Garrett still, something is amiss. Tell me, Brother Rich, what's going on in Cleveland, man? Because I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Finally, I thank you for talking about championship football. Sir,
that wasn't championship football by no means.
Sir, are we talking about the Browns, and am I allowed to respond, or I can let everybody else?
No.
Matter of fact, you can feel free to do that.
No, do your thing. Do your thing.
You can let him go.
Do your thing.
Okay, thank you. Look, in defense of the Browns, sir. Browns fans were very excited by this win. This is what we were hoping for. We got what we wanted. Browns fans, Dog Pound fans, understand this. This is early in the season. Those of us who are Browns fans are happy. We lost the first game the way we lost it. It was the best loss in the series, in the franchise history, because it set us right for what we're about to do, which is shock the world starting this weekend with the Rumble in the Jungle when Ali meets Foreman, and everybody thinks Foreman is going to knock Ali out, but they don't understand that this young champion is ready to show at what he's ready to do. So it starts this weekend, but I will get to that later. Mm-hmm. So this weekend, they came out and had a very good game, and they played up to the competition. And every week, what you'll see with this team, they'll play more and more up to competition. And you'll see them play better and better and better, because what I see in Baker Mayfield is a timing issue. What I see in Myles Garrett is a timing issue. Getting down to timing, people are playing him specifically. People have been watching for Myles Garrett before since last year. So teams are going for him. He's watching different schemes coming after him. People are focusing on him. So, yes, I'm not worried about that at all. He'll get it together, just like Baker will get it together, because Baker is showing he has the skill set, and now he has the weapons, and they're in the right system. They'll get it down. They're young players. They're playing in a comfortable system. They have the right coach. He's not an overlord of them. He's letting them go and letting them play according to what their gifts are. I'm not worried. Browns fans, the Dog Pound, we're thrilled. We're not worried at all. And we know this run that's about to happen with these next several games will have people like some of the Cowboy fans jumping right back on the bandwagon. No names, just Cowboy fans.
Okay.
They'll be jumping right back on the bandwagon.
Got you. Double J, you want to weigh in on that? Go ahead. I'm going to let you have your say.
Absolutely. I've never heard of a 23-3, being something to be concerned about. But I will say this. It was a heck of a rebound. It's what you wanted.
The Jets were missing 27 players. But go ahead.
When the Cowboys beat, who they've beaten with, missing their start, Washington missing their starting running back, we didn't hear much of that talk.
Okay. I'm letting you, Brother Richard, the floor is yours. The floor is yours. Continue.
Absolutely. And so, you look at this and you say to yourself, well, look, they're holding to their opponent under 50% passing on the season thus far. So defensively, they're starting to get it. Right now, this team, other than being a very talented group of individuals, they don't have an identity yet, but they're forming it. And taking that L in the manner that they did, will continue to say it. That was the best thing that could have happened to that team. A punch in the mouth to remind you that no opponent is going to take you lightly, and you're not just going to win games on paper. You have to go out and play the game. And that's why when you don't have an overlord as a head coach, you have someone that is going to build rapport with the players and is going to have them operate their scheme and move as one, you're going to start seeing the wins pile up. And then, so I don't want to hear any surprises when, all of a sudden they're 12-4, or at the very least 10-6. And how did we get here?
Okay.
With home playoff games.
You bring up a fair point. Brother Richard brings up a fair point. But I'm going to have the last point, and we're going to get out of here for the day. All of that timing, all of that getting it together, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I've been a Brownstown fan for a long time, and I'm here to tell you, as a competitor, my stance is and will always be, I get it. It's the NFL. I get it. Guys don't have no continuity if they ain't played next to each other with the consistency. You ain't played together. I'm in favor of all of that. But when you go into a game as a football player, regardless of what season it is, you got to be ready, win or lose. You can't be undisciplined. You can't be slapping folk. You can't be doing all of that kind of stuff. Now they just now getting it. Before all of this happened, before the season took place or whatnot, it was a shoe-in. They going to do this, they going to do that, and they still might. Ain't nobody. But this is how you got to come out the gate. Horses come out the gate.
We wasn't no shoe-in to go 18-0. We wasn't no shoe-in to win every game. We wasn't no shoe-in to do that.
It's the fashion in which the games are being played. You got to be, listen, it's not about whether you're going to win them or lose them all. I didn't have them winning them all, and I didn't say which ones they was going to win or lose. Remember, I told you I'm not into that. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. No. But when you get out there,
so you thought we was going to look like the Patriots?
No. I didn't think you.
No, he wants them to look like the Cowboys. That's what he wants.
The Cowboys. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know. I didn't want to bring up his team because then he'll say we're picking on him again. We know who we're really talking about. But Jerry Jones is not our owner. We didn't have that kind of money, so we don't. It's unfair to compare us to your team.
Stop it. The Browns, next to the Colts, the Browns had the most cap money to spend. They got money. Haslam got big money. Pilot Flying J. Oh, trust me, Haslam got big money. But that ain't the point. The point is, I'm not saying that the Browns was going to win or lose. I'm saying, when I'm looking at them, it's no way in the world, man, that it's the approach and the demeanor is, unfortunately, is ho-hum. Listen, do you know after the way they lost to the Titans, do you know that the folks had them going against the Jets, as Double J liked to point out, that a team didn't, who was we talking about, the Chargers? They didn't have 7 players. Okay, the Jets, their whole roster probably was decimated. I don't even know who half them guys was that rolled out there. And people, even with all of that being out, all of the dudes that was out for the Jets, do you know the people were still saying that they was crossing their fingers about the Browns on Monday night? That's sad, man.
I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I was real people. People who are fans of that, of who understand what's happening with the team and been watching the team get built. We're not concerned about that at all. But now we understood clearly, man. It's okay. You know what it is? It's those same old analysts. It's those same old analysts. That's where you get the same old Browns. That's why you have teams like the Cowboys that have this expectation of winning. It's a culture, and the culture starts with who's putting what in whose ear. And
okay,
so
that's fair.
Why franchises like this get stalled, because you got hosts like ours here saying that, nitpicking every little thing that they do and not allowing them to develop as a team.
Yeah. I ain't hear nothing about development before the season started, but I'll say this before we get out of here. And on this last note, trust me, let me ask both of you all right now, as this host right here pointed out, does the offensive line play concern you? I said it at the beginning of the season. When we did the AFC North breakdown, I said it makes no sense to me, and I want the Browns to win. Make no mistake, we on record me saying that more than once. I'll pull the tape up if we need to because I got the recordings. I want the Browns to win, but it makes no sense to me, not just for the Browns, but any other NFL team. If it's a quarterback-driven league, and I cannot say this enough, and if I need to say it 100 more times, I will. I don't have a problem with repeating myself. If it's a quarterback-driven league, and I'm a John Dorsey fan, Brother Rich, you know that. I've said John Dorsey. How many times? So don't act like, okay. I said it makes no sense to me. None. You got a quarterback, finally a franchise quarterback, and that offensive line looked like shit. The offensive line play, and I'll pull up a post that I put out 9 months ago before the season even began, before I even went and bought my first publication to discuss the NFL season this season. I said, look here, man. That boy, matter of fact, they kicked me out of a Browns group, a Berea's backers group. I'm in another Berea. Sorry, it's not the Berea's backers. Sorry, I'm in another group. They kicked me out the group because I said, hey, man, that dude can't be running for his life. I seen it last season. So I'm surprised that Dorsey, maybe I'm not, because Dorsey said, hey, look, let's see if the guys we have here are ready. Let's give them a chance to come to the forefront and become household names. So that's fair. Give your guys a chance instead of, you don't just make moves to be just making moves. You give the guys that are already here a chance to become something. That's fair if that's what he was thinking. But I'm looking at this offensive line play, and y'all still telling me right now, based on the offensive line play in 2 games so far, because everything else can be fixed. I'm with you on that. But you telling me the offensive line play can be fixed in time to deal with the Rams? And the next, because anybody else,
I
even
think
if
they can do it. No. Here's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that they will surprise you, and that yes, like so many of the teams, they have holes. We're not saying. That's why I'm asking you. You think?
But that can't be one of them.
Or we were going to be like this?
No, that can't be one of them.
Yeah, that may well be. Okay, yes, that may well be one of them. Here's what I'm saying to you. Nevertheless, I believe that as the season goes on, you will continue to see better and better adjustments to and coverage and players stepping up that you didn't expect, and you'll see us continue to make those adjustments. That's what we're telling you, that you'll see us continue to get better, and you will start seeing that this weekend with this weekend's opponent. Because what they're bringing to town, what everybody expects them to do, just like all of the naysayers and all the Cowboy fans who are going to want to come to the parade because they live in Cleveland. That's why the only reason they stay with Browns, because they live in the town. But, like our, people we know. But, I'm just saying.
Okay, but wait a minute.
All of them
wait a
will
minute.
be back on the bandwagon.
How can I be a naysayer? But I'm John Dorsey. I don't understand. I don't understand the logic behind that. Double J, I'm gonna let you have the last say, and then we got to get out of here.
Because you're an honest man. You're an honest person, and you will give credit to people that they're good at something.
Okay, well, oh wow, really? I can't believe I'm shocked.
So here's the thing regarding the O line here.
Oh boy.
For a struggling makeshift O line, they have a running back that's averaging for his career 5 yards a carry.
But wait a minute. Don't even try that.
5 yards
Don't
a carry.
try that. I saw that graphic too, and I knew that too. But that offensive line that they had, the offensive line they got now, is a lot of different pieces than it was last year. So don't try that. And if you watch when they handed the ball off to Chubb last night a couple of times, he had a lot of that stuff he did on his own. But I will give him credit on that one play where Booger McFarland said, what you do is, the old Lombardi, you create a seal here and a seal there. That was excellent blocking on that play. I won't take that away from him. That's but we need to see more of that.
On a 19-yard touchdown run, I don't hear teams with bad O-lines having running backs scampering for 19-yard touchdown runs and getting nearly 5 yards a carry. And you know what that tells me? You're right. If they keep getting better, because you're watching them, every move they make, You know, can we get Siri? Play the police.
No, Siri, no. All right, we're gonna see. You know what I mean? For me, I appreciate that they beat the Jets. You know, it's a feel good. You know, but the Jets didn't have all the pieces that they needed. You know, I do. I appreciate them. Okay, so now we 1-1. Okay, so now we can relax a little bit. Now we can get back to business. Okay, all of that's fine. But I want to see what you do against the Rams at home this upcoming Sunday. That's the litmus test. Can we all agree that the Rams are the litmus test for this season?
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I'm not going to be surprised one bit if they beat them. But I certainly would love to see the face that you make when they do.
Well, here's the deal. What did Brother Richard say I was? Honest. If they beat them, I'm going to be – y'all make it seem like if they beat the Rams, I'm going to have my arms folded and I'm going to be pouting. Like, what you talking about, Willis? I'm not going to be that. If they beat them –
your Cowboys can't do.
Oh, you know what?
Exactly. That's exactly. It's all you exactly. It's not the Cowboys.
You know what? And on that note, it's been fun, but we got to run. We appreciate y'all for listening. Don't forget to check us out right here on the Spreaker.com network. You go to the search box and you type in the Shop Report. Or you can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, iTunes, or Apple. Is it Apple Music? I don't know why I can't get that right. And, of course, via email, the shopreport365@gmail.com. We are on Spotify. We have a Facebook fan page, the Shop Report. You can go there and sign up, leave us messages, questions, topics that you know, things you want to talk about, whatever the case may be, all of that good stuff. Even we have a website that's still being worked on. We got admins that's doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to need you to.
Cowboys fans need not apply.
You know what, man? I don't know what to tell you other than the fact that, and you can check out our YouTube channel as well. And we also this close to being on iHeartRadio. So give us a listen and a gander and a subscribe or subscription. Why don't you? Or follow too on Spreaker.com. And if that don't work, Google it. For my guests, I don't even know why I'm giving y'all credit today because y'all talking crazy. Brother Rich from the NYC, my man Double J from up north, and all those who follow us on social media, we say thank you for your support. I'm Barbershop Jay, and you've been listening to the Shop Report. Remember, next time y'all want to know what's really going on, man, come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. Holla.